Hello everyone, and welcome back. Hope you're all doing quite well today. I certainly know that I am. As always, we are going to be resuming some shiny hunting today. Let me go and grab the rest of the eggs. There we go. Actually, I should probably put these in a box somewhere. Yeah, I need to get a better... Wait, no, no, you can go there. Yeah, I need to get a better organizational placement for everything. Because, yeah, I just need to organize my boxes better. Wait. Oh, I have a extra thing. Okay. Okay, I guess we're gonna go here for that. Okay. So today, as you can tell, we're gonna be continuing our shiny hunt for Scorbunny. Well, Raboot here at this point. And we are also going to be continuing some shiny hunting for other stuff via the overworld. This time, we're going to be looking for some ice types. So that's going to be pretty fun. Let me just get rid of that. Set up, there we go, picnic. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm very much looking forward. How's everyone doing? Welcome in Shubi. Welcome in Wasab1. Welcome in Caleb. Welcome in Boko. Hey, Domestic Fishy. Can one of the mods please do exclamation point, I think it's either fish or fishy? Thank you very much. It's nice looking. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Cinderace, Shubi. I'll be honest. Alright, so let's get making some sandwiches. Overall, we've got some shinies to go for. I want to go for some ice types. And let me go pull up my little DMs with Echo, so that way I can see what the sandwich needs to be. Because yeah, in our DMs, one of my friends, I have a pinned thing that just is the sandwich list. And see, it's gonna be onion, tomato, green. I'm pretty sure it's cloth sticks when it comes to ice types. I'm pretty sure it's cloth sticks. Ice is cloth sticks. Yes, I was right. It was cloth sticks. I've also been grinding some Urban Mystica off screen. Yeah, I saw the poison Greninja. I saw that Greninja poison is gonna be coming to raids. And actually, despite my normal stance on Greninja, I'm actually kind of excited for it coming back because I've actually got a video coming up very soon all about Greninja. And it's basically going to be what Greninja is going to do when it comes to battling. And it's not actually about the Greninja raid event, but actually about like a Greninja in VGC and like how amazing Greninja is going to be this game. Because Greninja this game is bonkers. Because of the way that they changed how Battle Bond works. It's going to be a menace. Like to say that Greninja is going to be good is an understatement. It's going to basically be dialyzed nightmares. Hey, Bonbon, how you doing? Also, can one of the mods please go grab Domestic Fishy's link, please? How you doing? I'm honestly kind of glad it's not Incineroar Wasab, despite the fact that Incineroar is my second favorite starter of all starters. I kind of do need a bit of a break from Incineroar in VGC. I just would like a couple of months of VGC where I do not need to deal with Incineroar and not get my face pummeled by Growly Cat. Because again, I love Incineroar. It is my second favorite starter. But I really do not want to deal with that thing in VGC again for a while. Let that thing back in when Zacian comes back. I'm okay with that. But coming back before then, I don't want to see it coming back before then, because I don't want nightmares. Because like I love that thing. It's nice and good. But yeah, we actually don't have any outbreaks we're gonna be hunting today. Hey Phoenix, how you doing? Welcome in. I'm not really the biggest guy when it comes to like the Kalos starters in general. The Kalos starters never really were I guess the best way of saying is they never really left that much of a big impression on me because I didn't play X and Y when they first came out. I played X and Y years after they released, when I'd actually already played Sun and Moon. I'd already seen like almost everything from Kalos, so it was a bit difficult for like the starters to really leave a big impression on me. So I guess I just kind of feel a little bit indifferent about most all of them. A lot of fun videos to use Team 1. Scarf, Tyranitar, Sandrush, Lycanroc, Double Rock Slide. That's an interesting idea, but one problem it would run into, Caleb, is Wide Guard. With Goldango, with Armarouge, Wide Guards become very, very good. And also, guys, thank y'all for coming out. If you guys haven't done so, please do not forget to leave a like on the stream and subscribe if you guys are new. We are going to be hatching some eggs while also shiny hunting for everything. I'm redoing my Violet on my new Switch as I can't transfer data for some reason. Really? I thought that you could transfer data from between like Switches and between other things. I thought you had to like upload to the cloud first and then you can transfer it over, Bonbon. Yeah, I'm not gonna be surprised. Actually, wait. I just realized something. The game has a thing that tracks. Save cloud doesn't work for the game. Interesting. I'm pretty sure there's a way to transfer your data. I'm fairly certain there's a way to transfer your data. Actually, one thing I just thought of. The game does register. Huh? Why can I not? Oh, there we go. I guess I guess it is pressed up. Okay. Shinies battled. Okay. So 96. I kind of want to see if we find any shinies just in the overworld and I just don't notice them, and if that counter will go up. Yes, that seems like a good idea for the Greninja raises. Yeah, I was thinking of Greninja. I was not thinking of Greninja. I was thinking of Gastrodon for like the same reason. The problem is, if Greninja will read you have Storm Drain. You know, if Greninja reads you have Storm Drain, then it will just use Dark Pulse, at which point your Storm Drain kind of becomes irrelevant. So it would be good to use, but I think the issue with it is if Greninja will read you have the ability or not. At which point your ability kind of becomes null and more problems ensue. Trust me, I've been thinking of ways. I've been thinking of ways for the Greninja raids, and you were right about them, Toxic. You were indeed correct. Yeah, I've been thinking of ways for it, because like Greninja has a very obnoxious move pool. It gets extra sensory, so like poison types, like like Clodsire would not be as good. It gets, dark moves. It gets water moves. It just gets so many moves. It also gets, it gets Grass Knot. There's a lot of moves that Greninja gets. I mean, the game, they have definitely improved the AI, Caleb. They have definitely improved the AI. Because when you're doing Terra raids, it will use moves that will exploit weaknesses. Because it will target weaknesses. And I mean, I hope the AI is dumb enough to keep doing that, but I just don't see them allowing that, because after what we did to Charizard with Azumarill, and after how we absolutely cheesed Cinderace, I think they're going to be stepping things up, because, Charizard didn't have any boosting moves when we battled it. And we joked it. So then they added in boosting moves for Cinderace to make it harder so we can't really joke it in the same way. And I think with Greninja, they're going to escalate that even more to make it harder and harder for us to basically solo them. And the funny thing is, in them doing that to make it harder for us to solo those raids, it's going to get harder to do the raids with other people. Because you will have losses from connection times, you will have losses from people getting knocked out. Because when you're with the NPCs in the game, you don't lose time when they get knocked out. So it's really just better to pretty much do raids solo. Those important moves: Grass Knot, Gunk Shot, Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse, Extra Entry, U-Turn, Water Shuriken. You're also forgetting about Surf. There's also Surf. It also gets Rock Slide of all things. Extra Sensory is also something to consider. Because I remember I was talking with, I think it was Gamer Views or Doorman yesterday in the Elite Battle League Discord. And they mentioned, you know, Earthquake, Belly Drum, Iron Hands. And, you know, okay, that's a neat idea. But Extra Sensory is a problem. And it also likely will get Terra Blast. Because I'm thinking if they go for special Greninja, Greninja does not get a special poison move. And they would probably give it just Terra Blast as a way of dealing with, you know, potentially options. Because if they don't do that, then something like Azumarill or something like, well, Fairy types, like Fairy Psychic types, would just become the play. So I'm expecting they're going to give it Terra Blast Poison, rather than have it rely on the lottery that is Gunk Shot. But we also do not know the set yet, and that is what worries me when it comes to Greninja. Those moves terrify me. Slowbro would not work. Greninja just simply does way too much damage. Greninja just does way too much damage. Night Slash or Dark Pulse would deal pretty much between 40 HP to 60, basically 40% to 60% of its HP with a single move. And because you need to set up multiple turns, you can use, yes, Amnesia, or you could use, yes, you could use Amnesia, yes, you could use Iron Defense, depending on which one it's at. But that still brings in the possibility of, well, it could land a crit, it could land a flinch, and you need someone to constantly be supplying it with heals. And that isn't going to always be possible. Which means that using Slowbro is not going to work as well. The main issue just with the Greninja raids at present seems to be both of the weaknesses to Poison, so Psychic and Ground, Greninja's natural typing just cover perfectly. You know, you're going to want to bring Ground types because Poison. Okay, but Ground types get obliterated by Water. Okay, bring Psychic types. Well, Psychic types get obliterated by Dark. So either way, you're kind of screwed unless you have something like, say, Greninja. I was actually thinking, of all things, King Gambit for a bit, because it gets Zen Headbutt. It resists most moves Greninja would have, but King Gambit is not the greatest. At least for these, because you'd just be spamming non-stab Zen Headbutts. Wait, is that a check? Oh, no, the eyes were different. I know, just those are the eyelids. Dang. So yeah, I'm definitely worried about Greninja when it comes to Terra raids. Question is, what are we talking about? I'm thinking it's Protean. I'm expecting it would be Protean. Because we still do know that when it comes to the DLC, Greninja will be getting its own event, which I'm thinking likely is going to be when it gets the Battle Bond release. Because they did rework Battle Bond. And I'm thinking if they release Battle Bond in this raid, no one is going to beat it. Like, no one will be able to beat Greninja if it has Battle Bond in this raid. Because even though Battle Bond will only activate once per battle, it's still a +1 to speed, +1 to special attack, +1 to physical attack. You're not surviving that. Like, unless you are using, like, Haze or something, you're not surviving. Yeah, if it's Protean, it's the same thing as it was with Cinderace, where it just does not have an ability functionally. And I'm expecting it's going to be Protean. That's at least what I'm expecting. How about I could just like Picnic reset this? I could just Picnic reset this here. Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be Protean. But yeah, the worry for me is definitely gonna be what are its moves. But yeah, amusingly, the video I'm actually working on that's actually about Greninja right now actually isn't even about the Terra raids. It's about what Greninja's going to do when it comes to VGC. But also, guys, again, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Protean, it changes your type to, on switch in, it changes you to the type of the first move you use while out. So if you send out Greninja and you use, say, U-turn, you will become a bug type. But it only works the first move used when being out that time. So if you send it out, recall it, and then send it out again, you can use Protean again. And they change it to basically once per switch out. And I'm kind of okay with the way they changed it. Also, I forgot to take up the counter. I'm kind of okay with the way that they changed it. Because it was honestly obnoxious dealing with, like, Libero. It was honestly obnoxious dealing with the way that Libero Cinderace worked. Surf, Hydro Pump, Dark Pulse. Yeah. Like, I'm expecting... Like, if it brings a Surf... I think Storm Drain is the play. I think Storm Drain is the play if it has Surf. Because at that point, well, it would use Surf, and then it would just boost you up. But until then, until we see what its moveset actually is going to be, I'm running under, like, 4 different team ideas for this. Basically, I have a Greninja I play with Iron Hands, I have a play with Gastrodon, and I have a play with King Gambit. King Gambit's the one that I'm, like, the least hot on. I definitely think King Gambit is the worst of the plays. But, yeah, Iron Hands, I think, has probably the most potential. If it has Surf, Storm Drain is required. It would seem to be able to pull out it. Yeah, I would say. Because Surf is just an obnoxious move to deal with in general. Spread moves would be problematic, especially if it sets up Rain. So yeah, again, there's a lot of different possibilities. Probably max out HP, max out special attack. I'd say probably max out special attack, max out HP. But until we actually see what Greninja's got, we do not know what it could be. Because it could go mixed. Greninja could go mixed. Which, I have a hypothesis about it actually going into mixed for this. Nice! Shining Great Tusk is amazing. I love it. Yeah, I think it's reasonable that it'll go mixed for this. The reason for that is both Charizard and Cinderace were modest than adamant. And I'm wondering if they're going to go through most of, like, the common natures to give people a huge amount of mints. You know, basically for every single, not for every single, but for most of the natures, at least the important big natures. So it could go for maybe a minus defensive nature plus speed. Like, I don't know, like hasty or something. And I'm thinking that could be what it is. Because again, we gotta remember, we have been joking the Terra raids. The internet has been finding ways of exploiting every single stat spread moveset that these things have to deliberately find the ways of making these raids as easy as possible. When the intention of these raids is to be extremely difficult. Also, hi Omar. When the intention of these Terra raid events are to be extremely difficult to force player cooperation. And by us going out of our way to find the easiest ways of joking these raids, we are deliberately going against what the idea is. So, they need to escalate things to make it harder for us to do them solo, so we need to work with other people. And that's why I'm very, very worried. Shiny Houndsdome today. Well, what's called my friend. Loves it. The screen sharing. Nice. Nice, beat it. Nice. Yeah, the internet, we know they'd find a way regardless, but I still think they would try to find ways of making it too difficult for us to be able to do it solo easily. But the unfortunate thing is it will always be easier to solo raids than it will be to do them in groups. That's the unfortunate reality, just due to the way internet connections work, due to the way that just the way the game is. It's just easier for us to do solo raids than it is to do them in groups, because connection times do play a very large role in some raid losses when you otherwise would have won. It's also just more convenient to do them solo. Strategy was balanced, special with no flaws. I'm gonna just train water absorb Vaporeon and hope it doesn't have a Knot. I don't think Grass Knot will really even do that much to Vaporeon normally. But the other thing is, what would Vaporeon do in terms of damage to the Greninja? You know, that's the other thing. Surviving Greninja's attacks is one important thing, but the other important thing is, how are we going to be able to knock it out? Because these things have, 7,000 HP. What's really going to be able to deal out that much damage fast enough to end the raid? Short of using, heavy use of fake tears and then not getting its stat purged. Time for us to catch water with Pokemon Fight Ninja. I still think that Storm Drain's probably the better play than Water Absorb. How do you get Indu doing higher star raids? Because I literally got another busy. I actually have a specific recommendation that I actually give to all viewers that actually ask this. And that is to do the lower level raids first. If you do the level 2, level 3 raids, depending on what point in the game you're at, you may have level 1s, 2s, and 3s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, or 3, 4, 5s. It is best to do the lower level raids first to get experience candy to prepare options for level 5 raids. Then, when you have prepared enough options to reliably do level 5 raids, you can just start exclusively doing the level 5 raids. The trick is getting to that point, so it's a thing of basically the baby steps. Doing the level 3 and 4 raids is essentially the gateway to the level 5 raids. And actually, I do know it's been a while. I mean, I beat the story, so I have level 70 Pokemon already, but I get how they work. No, what do you mean? So do you mean, joining online raids? Or, battling in the raids? I'm not sure what you mean. Unless you mean, using candy. Skull, a fake tears, and stored power. Okay. Calm mind, fake tears, and stored power. Interesting. I think that might be a bit too much setup, though. Because you gotta think, okay, so 6 turns of setting up Calm Mind, then 3 turns of Fake Tears, then Stored Power. That is 10 turns. I think that might be a bit much. I think that might be a bit much of setup. How do I join them? I don't join them, but strat system. Pretty much the best strategy for it is Iron Hands and Azumarill. They are 2 of the best raid Pokemon. If you have Skeledirge, it's also one of the best to bring, because Skeledirge's Torch Song allows it to automatically boost up its special attack every single time it uses Torch Song. Volcarona is also a very good one because of Fiery Dance. But yeah, that basically just bring things that have high offensive stats. So, Iron Hands with Belly Drum, Azumarill with Belly Drum. I like to give my Pokemon the Shell Bell, because it gives you passive healing while you're doing damage. So you can have an Iron Hands that uses Belly Drum, then use either Drain Punch or Thunder Punch, which will pretty much heal it to full health when you use those moves, because the Shell Bell recovers health proportional to how much damage you're dealing. So you have an Iron Hands, EV trained it, and Solar Ones. Yeah, Iron Hands is just absolutely legendary for destroying terror rates. It's so good. I was gonna try to find Iron Hands, but I have Scarlet, so got everything going. I have some spares. I have some spare Iron Hands if you need one. I can send you one when the sandwich is done, actually. And he feels fine, but it was painful. You may want to rest that Nuxie. You may want to just, like, keep it propped up and rested because you don't want to strain it too much. You don't want to strain that leg too much. Also, again, guys, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. You guys are the wonderful people that keep everything here going on just fine. I'm hoping we get an ice type today, but I remain skeptical. Yeah, I can get you an Iron Hands. I've caught a whole bunch of them specifically in preparation for people who have Scarlet that want to get one or need to get one for raids. If you don't mind, but trading all the exclusive on each other, so... That's fine. I have spares. I have a whole bunch of them just eating a hole in my boxes. And I've actually been looking for people who need them specifically to trade them away to people. Because it kind of seems at this point that people don't really need them anymore. Which Snover? Which Snover? Because there's a number of them. But yeah, Snover's shiny, it's blue. Like the arms and stuff is blue. Where? Where was the Snover shiny? Which Snover? Which Snover? Because there's yeah. They look very much the same, and in the dark nighttime lighting, it pretty much makes it hard to tell the difference between the two of them. They both look very, very identical. Game, that was very weird. Yeah, fighting and electric is a very good offensive pairing for a typing. The problem with it, though, is fighting and electric as far as... Red-green on the bottom. Yeah, that is gender difference. There's more, like, segments on the male and female one. Yeah, there are differences between the two of them for gender differences. Hey, John Cena, how you doing? Yeah, see, the difference is that, like, the males, it's, the snow is higher on them, and on the females, the snow is lower. So yeah, that little, like, strip in the middle is white on females. On males, it is brown. Yeah, they are some of the few Pokemon that do have a gender difference. Because, like, the blue on them is, like, a very... I wouldn't say, like, bright blue, but it's, like, a very, very teal-ish. Like, it's more like this blue around us right now, rather than, like, green. The thing is, I really haven't done that many Masuda hunts. So, my only Masuda hunt that I have done on screen has been my Masuda hunt for Roggenrola, which that went double over odds. But we did do Fuecoco in Masuda Method as well, and the entire Fuecoco family was heavily under odds, actually, so actually changed that. So far, we actually are pretty good on under odds for Masuda Method. Also, oh yeah, Frigibax and Baxcalibur. We did a Frigibax shiny hunt, and we got that literally in 16 eggs with no shiny charm. So we're pretty good on Masuda hunts as far as Scarlet Violet's gone for us. Yeah, the blue on the shiny, I think, definitely would stick out very heavily. Yeah, the blue, I think, would definitely stick out. But yeah. No, you cannot release eggs. You can only release Pokemon after you have hatched them. So that means if we want to release these, we need to hatch all of them. And that is why hatching eggs is a bit of a hassle at times. But we're still going. We're still going for it. But yeah, we also do still need to get our Cinderace after this, because we are doing a living shiny dex. I don't mind the shinies. I like it. I like how Zacian and Zamazenta, their names are literally Za, a color. Because, you know, Za, Cyan, Za, Magenta, Za, Magenta. I love that. And their shinies actually go Cyan and Magenta. I love it. I had a bunch of Curse Crafty eggs that every time I try to hatch them, game crashes. So eggs forever in the box. How long are the sessions that you're doing when you're hatching those eggs? Because if you have the game running for like several hours and do them all in a single sitting, that will actually cause your game to crash because it's just simply running for so long. Also, I love like the army of Snorunt that are just watching this egg hatch. The army of Snorunt. Yeah, a good thing to do is just like hatch them in increments. I have no joke. I've hatched 1,000 Lechonk and no shiny. Yikes. Yeah, we were kind of lucky with Lechonk. Yeah, I've done resets like simply 2 rows of egg. Reset like simply 2. Weird. Strange. Yeah, it is a bit annoying when you have to hatch everything, but considering I am going for a living shiny dex, and I do need to hunt 3 of these things, it isn't that bad for me, at least. What Pokemon was Sob? What Pokemon? Oh, Lechonk, yeah. I was never a big fan of Lechonk, I'll be honest. I kind of thought all the Lechonk memes before the game released were just not really very funny. For much the same reason I never really found Wooloo very funny. So it just never really got to me. The funny part is I've actually gotten 2 shiny Lechonk in-game and a shiny Oinkologne. So the extra spare shiny Lechonk is going into the shiny giveaway bin. Because yeah, for those who do not know and those who might be new, with the shiny living dex we're doing, any shinies that I get that are extra within the living dex, so like I have 4 shiny Ghastly, one of them is going for trade because I don't need the extra shiny, and you guys would be able to give it a better home than I could. I mean, 1,000 Lechonk return. Exactly, Mudkip. They can be turned into a lot of ham. They can be turned into a lot of ham, which is the best purpose for Lechonk. Funny thing is, I actually had bacon with breakfast today, so yeah. I do love me some bacon. I do very much love me some bacon. Bacon is delightful. Alright, so first sandwich, no shiny. Alright. That's fine. We just gotta keep on going. We're just gonna keep it going. But yeah, ice types are definitely not the easiest ones to be shiny hunting, because there's so many of them, as well as some of them don't really change that much. So it is a bit easy to miss them. But doesn't mean we're not gonna keep trying. Yeah, I'm definitely like, I already know for certain I am going to be Masuda hunting. What's its face? Bergmite. I couldn't think of the name for it. I'm going to be Masuda hunting Bergmite, because I know that I probably would not really be able to discern that difference on my own. I just nice work, JJ. I'm not really hoping for any shiny in particular. I'll be honest, Toxic. I'm really hoping just for a shiny today, because we are doing a living shiny deck, so we do need to get all of them eventually. Yeah, like, I have a list of about, I think it's like 40 of them that I'm going to be doing that way. Because the funny thing is, I actually have a Tynamo outbreak today. However, Tynamo's in the water. Most Pokemon that are within the water, unless it's something like Love Disc, where it's like very, very visible from the outset, I'm probably gonna be Masuda Flooring. You mean what is my progress on the living shiny decks? Beat it? Because living shiny decks, we have about 100 Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet that are for the living shiny decks. I've finished the Pokedex. I have everything in the Pokedex registered, so I have a 400 out of 400 on the Pokedex for this. But when it comes to the living shiny decks, I'd probably say I have probably 130 Pokemon of the entire game, because I have a number of shinies from other games. Like, I have shinies of Pokemon in this... I have shinies of Pokemon that are in this game's Pokedex. Back in Sword and Shield, like I have shiny Salazzle in Sword and Shield. I have shiny Ditto in Sword and Shield. Oh, I've completed the Pokedex. I have everything in the game. Yeah, I have everything in the Pokedex. I don't think I have a Riolu in this game, because I released a lot of Pokemon that were just taking up a lot of space. So I don't think I have any extra Riolu. Oh no, I do not have a shiny Riolu. I do not have a shiny Riolu. I have one shiny Nacli and a shiny Garganacl, Mudkip. I know exactly what you're going for on there, Mudkip, and yes, I'm still annoyed at myself about losing that. No thank you, Beat It. No thank you, Beat It. Part of the reason doing the living shiny decks is that I do want to hunt everything for myself. I do appreciate the offer, though. I do appreciate the offer. So, someone said that they needed an Iron Hands. Someone said that they needed an Iron Hands. Are they still here? Because if so, I have, we can do the trade. Usual link code 19283746. What's good against Fairy is Poison and Steel. New normal living now. One. Neat. Okay, I can give you the. I have like, I think like 4 or 5 spare Iron Hands, so I'll be able to send you. I'll be able to send each of you guys one. Do a normal living dex. I honestly think most of us have a normal living dex at this point, and I think it's a good thing to have a normal living dex. Hey David Doss, how you doing? How you doing? Hope everyone's doing well. One 92837. Okay. Just make sure that you guys have to be connected to the internet to do this. Knock out. Or if lacking life orb, it would have. There we go. Just working on like this, just like putting some finishing things on a script for a thing I'm working on. Wait, do I only have 2? Do I only have 2 spare Iron Hands? Really? I guess I only have 2 spare Iron Hands then. I was gonna do a few games ago, but I saw 700 Pokemon and the ORS was like, yeah. I mean, I think it's best to work on a living dex incrementally. You know, working on it incrementally, I think, is the best way of doing it. Because if you just do it all at once, you're just going to get yourself burned out on playing the games ridiculously quick. But you do it incrementally, then you can kind of pace yourself out. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do with my stuff. Is I'm doing it gradually. Kind of like the same way that I am with my like my VGC team preps. Is I prepare my stuff incrementally. Speaking actually of VGC team preps, I've just been playing through the past 2 days, getting a Pokemon. Yeah. This game, I would say, I think it is the most annoying Pokedex to fill. I think that this game definitely has the most annoying dex to fill. And, as well, Wasab, you said you needed it as well, so this one is for you. Do it for more of it. Yeah. But this game, I would say, was probably the most annoying one for me to fill out. Granted, a large portion of that was because of King Gambit. Palafin was annoying, but you can actually get Palafin from level 5 raids. The way that I just did that was, okay, you look for a thing that has a Finizen outline and is a level 5 raid. That is going to be a Gimmighoul. Not Gimmighoul, that's going to be Finizen. Because it's still going to have, like, Finizen's stats as well. So, like, it'll be terrible. I do not accept shiny trades, Wasab. Thank you for the I do not accept shiny trades. I thank you for the offer, though. Yeah, Gen 4 was pretty annoying, but Gen 4 also didn't have anything nearly as bad as King Gambit. It didn't have anything nearly as bad as King Gambit. It's alright, Wasab, I understand. I understand. But yeah, Hydreigon's one that I'm going to be going for next. Like, I love Hydreigon. I'm a little sad, though. A little sad that Roaring... I'm happy Roaring Moon basically replaced Hydreigon in terms of competitive play. But at the same time, Roaring Moon also kind of isn't great. Why do some of the Pokemon bounce up and down in the weapons? That means that they have not been registered in the other person's Pokedex yet. It's basically to show if you're trading with someone, oh, they don't have this Pokemon. So that means that Wasab doesn't have, say, like, Iron Thorns, doesn't have Iron Moth, doesn't have Greedent registered. It's basically to show that, like, certain Pokemon are just not registered in their Pokedex yet. It's a very friendly thing to show, oh yeah, they don't have this thing, so you might want to, oh, maybe just give it to them. It's a great system. Now let's go and release the... Actually, I'll just release them off screen. I'll just release these off screen. 61. There we go. And let's start up another sandwich. Just make sure that there are no shinies in the area. Probably not going to be able to set up a picnic here. Nope, wrong thing. It is a very nice feature. Probably not going to be able to set this up. Okay, I guess I can set up a picnic here. I didn't think I would be able to, but I guess I was. Alright, make a sandwich. So now, I do remember this one. I don't need to look at the echo thing again. Be able today, and then Haunters with the violets. I don't, no. No. That's mean. That's very mean to send out Haunters with the Violite. Yeah, that was... Oh, you mean Everstone? Yeah, the Violite doesn't prevent you from evolving. You mean the Everstone? Yeah, I will never understand why it was they did that back in Diamond and Pearl. Because, like, I'm not a big fan of Gengar, I will be honest, but I will not dispute that it was a pretty dang good special attacker when Gen 4 was a thing. It was ridiculously fast, had very good offenses, well, very good offense, especially speaking, and had a pretty good typing. And they just don't let people get it because they wanted to give a person one with an Everstone to troll us. I will never understand that. God, the Inkay evolution was so stupid. Hey, Og, how you doing? Welcome back. Glad to have you. I still do not know how to, I still do not remember how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry about that. But how you doing, and welcome back. Again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Like, I mean, it is funny, but also it's really kind of dumb that they have mechanics like that. Like, that's one issue that Pokemon suffers from, is every time they add a new gimmick or a new mechanic to the games, they always make evolutions or make some sort of, like, significant portion of the game linked to an obscure mechanic. And if you don't do this obscure mechanic, you're not going to get, you know, something that's, like, quite useful. And I think it's kind of dumb. I get why they do it. Again, they need to show off new mechanics to encourage people to use them. But it only makes people dislike them more. I do not like Mega Evolution. I am not a fan of Mega Evolution Toxic. When a lot of it is because I play a lot of competitive. And Megas have around the same stats, if not actually better stats, than a lot of things like the box art restricted legendaries, which are tournament banned in official tournaments for most of the run of a series. And, you know, Megas have stats that are, in a lot of ways, even better than those legendary stats. And when you're dealing with, say, you know, 3 Pokemon that have legendary level stats, restricted legendary level stats, or you're dealing with, like, you know, two legendary level stat things, but one of those has, like, base 780, it isn't really fun to go up against those, because it kind of just becomes a war of, I hit you with one move, you drop instantly. Now, it's very telling that in Gen 6, a long game was 3 turns. A long game was 3 turns. If Arceus had one, it wouldn't really be a problem for me, because Arceus itself is always by default tournament banned. So if Arceus got one, it wouldn't really affect me, because it is one of those Pokemon that is flat banned. Kind of annoying. It felt like the amount of Pokemon. It very much was that. I mean, and it's one of the reasons why I am a bit glad it is gone, and I know a lot of people do like Mega Evolution, but Mega Evolution worked very well in the context of things like the anime or the manga. In things, actually, it worked very well in single player. It worked very well when it came to, like, non-official matches. Not for the most part. I'm not a big fan of designed shinies that are designed to look cool. It's kind of one of my issues with shinies these days, is a lot of them are designed to have, like, very, very high amounts of appeal. And something about that, I think, like, takes a lot of it away from me, whereas before you have things like, you know, shiny Charizard, it looks amazing, and it was a complete accident. You know, it just so happened that in the algorithm, the color value was just changed by that much. And when something like that's an accident, I feel it adds a lot more to that Pokemon, whereas if it's designed that way, it takes a bit away. Because it also means that they intentionally designed the regular Pokemon to look worse, to make the shiny pop more. Favorite Pokemon for me is Metagross. Metagross is very much my favorite. Though a lot of it actually comes from, I've just enjoyed using it in battles. It's one of my favorites to battle with. I used to play Pokemon Go. I used to play it to help me exercise, because you guys do not know this. I think I mentioned it a couple of times, but I used to weigh a lot more than I do now. And Go really helped me to lose a lot of weight, because it got me motivated to go out and exercise. And I don't really play Go anymore because I don't really need that kind of motivation to get myself exercising anymore. But it did... Wait, is that the shiny? Wait, is that a shiny Bergmite? Oh my gosh, I think that's a shiny Bergmite. Oh! Shiny Bergmite. Let's freaking go, people. Frickin' icy rock. Yeah, the yellow stands out. The yellow stands out. I was worried, but the yellow stands out. Got a shiny Bergmite. Yeah, it is a lot more noticeable. I didn't expect the eyes to be that yellow. I didn't expect the eyes would be that yellow. That's catch. Oh, shiny Bergmite. Delightful. Delightful shiny little ice. Love it. Hello, Shovelface. Hello, future Shovelface. And now we are saving. And now we are saving. Again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. I can't really do a little bit of a dance because the webcam is not very well set up. It's specifically set up basically to capture my face, and the chair is also very, very high off the ground, so it wouldn't really capture things well. I was not expecting Bergmite, of all things, to be the shiny we got today. I'm happy, but I was not expecting it. The shiny Tarotona doesn't say this Pokemon doesn't say this Pokemon doesn't have it. You have to take it out of your PC. If you take it out of the PC, then you can look at its marks. You cannot look at marks within the PC. It's dumb, but you can't look at marks within the PC. Hey, Jimmy John, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Now can we make it a double shiny with a, can we make it a double shiny with a Score Bunny today? I'm surprised I noticed the Bergmite. I'm surprised I noticed the Bergmite. Nice! Marked shinies are always lovely. We're just hunting ice types in general, as well as continuing our shiny Score Bunny, well, shiny Reboot hunt. Oh, Pauline. Oh, so that means you had it on your team when you beat the game. Okay. Yeah, that's a ribbon. Ribbons are different than marks. Yeah, basically the way... Yeah, marks... Yeah, marks are found. Ribbons are earned, essentially. I mean, there is, I believe, there's like 2 or 3 marks that you can get earned, but it's like the Once Well Trained, the Reliable Partner, Gourmand, Great Tusk's Mark, say Great Tusk's. Oh, I love that. I love the marks. I have low kick. I have a couple of marked shinies. I have low kicks the Stern. I have a sociable Mankey. I think it's like the Mankey the Joyous or the Joyful, and I have two marked Mankey. You know, one's the Joyful and one is the Sociable. And I'm like, I love this. I don't know which one to evolve. I also have a marked shiny Pawniard, which is going to become the King Gambit. Yeah, basically all of my marked shinies, I'm probably going to end up using in battles. I'm going to use them for my competitive teams. Like the Volcarona I have right now is Volcarona the Sleepy. It is a marked Volcarona, and I love it. Hey, nice. Always good to get a foreign Ditto. It is always good to get a foreign Ditto. And then there was much rejoicing. Still 5 shinies, but exactly, Bradell. Exactly. 5 shinies are indeed better than nothing. Yes. So what is everyone's best day of shiny hunting? My best day of shiny hunting was 9 shinies in a single day. Yeah, 9 shinies in a single day and 5 shinies on a single sandwich. And I think they were both in the same day, unless that was a different day. Which it might have actually been a bit of a different day. Now that I think about it. Look at the Discord account. The Discord is always linked in the description, as well as exclamation point Discord will always bring up the Discord link. The best day was 11 in Legends. 5 in a normal game. Nice. Nice. 3 shinies each of day. Doing RNG probably 2 XY. Yeah. Shiny hunting was a lot slower back in the older games, but a lot of that was just down to, in the older games, you had to wait through a lot of animations. With this one, you can see shinies in the overworld, so you don't need to wait through animations anymore. And that has dramatically sped up the speed of shiny hunting. Because it isn't like shiny hunting is actually easier. Your odds for most things when it comes to shiny hunting, unless you're using sparkle power, are identical to what those odds were back in the older games. So, shiny hunting is actually still just as hard as it always was. It's just now, because you can see the shinies in the overworld, it cuts out, you know, I would say 90% of the wasted time that the old shiny hunting method caused. About or something. Hey, Ghost, how you doing? How you doing, Ghost? Hope you're doing well. And again, guys, please do not forget to leave a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. You wonderful, wonderful viewers out there. No, okay, no, it's not shiny. We'll take up the Square Bunny counter. 271. We're getting pretty close to odds for this. Oh, right, we have to move the Bergmite. We're getting pretty close to odds, all things considered, for when it comes to this reboot hunt, which is worrying me, because the last time we had a shiny that went over odds, that was the Roggenrola. Wait, you look brighter. Okay, no, it's not. What does shiny Snom even look like? What does shiny Snom look like? Like, I know it doesn't change much. But I just want to check. Just like I have a vague idea what to look for. Oh. Oh, dang. Oh, that's not going to be noticeable. That's definitely on my Masuda hunt. That's a toddle in the best way. Where's Zappuccino? Nice. Nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm hunting for just ice types in general. But I would love to go for a... Like, I already have one Satotl. I do need a second one, though. Yeah, I'm just looking for ice types as a whole in here. The main reason is that if I get it here, then I won't need to hunt anywhere else. But if I get it anywhere else, I could still phase on it here. So it's kind of like one of those things where I hunt for stuff where I can basically get a lot of things to basically knock out as much as possible. But when need comes, I will go... It's not another shiny, is it? No, it's not. Okay. But, like, if I need to, I will go for the area where it exclusively appears to sort of force that one to give me my best odds. About Satitan, the productivity. I love Satitan. It's great. I'm glad that we finally have a Slush Rush user that has, like, a decent speed stat. So that we can actually have, like, a pretty solid speed slush rush user. Because one of the issues that Arcavish or Arcazolts ran into was on a Hail team, it was still relatively slow. You know, it even in Slush Rush, it still got outsped by a lot of things. But now that Titan has actually a very, very solid base speed stat, it can be used on a Slush Rush team, well, a Snow team, and actually pretty much have a good solid speed stat. Why can't they sell all the ingredients? Because the game wants to be annoying, Wasab. That's why. Hey, Vagazgit, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. And again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new. But how you doing, everyone? Yeah, I would like to get another Titan, though. I would like to get one. I've found the best place for shopping for sandwich ingredients is the Aqualesia supermarket in Lavencia. It sells most of the ingredients. It doesn't sell all of them. But it sells, like, most. No, it's not trying to keep you. Yeah. What are the odds for the Masuda method? Masuda method odds are 1 in 512. Yeah, so Masuda method is 1 in 512 eggs with Shiny Charm. Sparkle Power does not affect the Masuda method. Yeah, Sparkle Power does not affect it. The best way I've done it is just stack up a whole bunch of eggs and then just hatch them in like just giant burst. It is, but the thing you gotta remember with Masuda method is it takes a couple of minutes to hatch the eggs. I generally clock my times for egg hatching, and it's to hatch them. To hatch a thing of 5 eggs, because I hatch my eggs in groups of 5, it generally takes maybe 2-3 minutes. But you also have to remember that to collect them, you make an egg sandwich, an egg power sandwich, and that runs about 30 minutes. And if you collect all the eggs, I collect my eggs every couple of minutes. It will give you, if you do an Egg Power 2 sandwich, you get about 55, 56, 57 eggs. Which gives you about, you know, a half hour or such. So it definitely takes a lot longer than you'd think. Because a lot of the time when I do Masuda hunting, you know, on stream, I have collected the eggs prior, because I don't want to be sitting here for, you know, pretty much 3 hours straight just collecting eggs. You guys would not enjoy that. Okay, so that, I think... wait, we still got 30 minutes on it? Really? I thought we had a lot less time on it. Stone Joiner is actually hard to find. Hey, nice! Found Stone Joiner! Wonderful. Yeah, version exclusives are a pain in the butt. Why do you hate Glade, Wasab? Why do you hate Glade? I mean, I'm not like the super biggest Glade fan in the world, but what did Glade ever do to you? What did Glade... Is it just refusing to stay caught, or is it like you're in a terror raid and it's just being annoying? Ah, doing a raid. Makes sense. Understandable. Yeah, Glade's got a pretty annoying moveset. Glade has a very annoying moveset. It's so good that they finally buffed Glade. For those who don't know, ever since Glade existed, it only had one base ability, and then it had its hidden ability. Whereas Gardevoir always had 2 abilities. They finally, after how many years, finally gave Glade a second ability. And you know what? Its second ability is nothing to write home about. You know, it's sharpness. It's the same thing that Veluza gets for a hidden ability. But it boosts the power of any slashing moves by 50%. Considering it gets a lot of slashing moves, it's actually pretty good. Like, they actually buffed Gallade, and it's not the greatest thing in the world, obviously. You know, it has a lot of slashing moves, but it's nothing like super duper stellar, but it's something at least, like, very respectable. And they finally gave it a buff. And now it can actually do a lot of really, really good damage. And I love it. What type is the Gallade raid? Also, what typing? Metachat, calling for help. 5-star Dark, Terra, Gallade, link code. Okay, it's level 5. Okay, I was like, is it on level 6? What are you using against the Gallade? What are you using against the Gallade? Okay, no, it's not a Chinese title. Egg. So I'm wondering if it may actually have sharpness as an ability. I wouldn't recommend Iron Valiant. If you can get an Azumarill, I'd recommend that, because Iron Valiant is extremely frail. And it is weak to Psychic, which Gallade would completely destroy it with. Because remember, even though Gallade is a Dark type in the Terra raid, it still retains its Psychic type, same type attack bonus. What type do you think has the best moves? Oh. I gotta say it's probably Water. I'd honestly say it's probably Water type. I'd say has probably the best moves. Before Generation 9, I would have said without a question it would have been Water. Because of Scald. Like, the existence of Scald was insane. But, since Scald is no longer widely available, only Volcanion gets Scald these days, because it's no longer TM. Hey, Shark, how you doing? Can any of the mods please put in ! Shark? How are you doing, game Shark Arc? How you doing? What's up? I would say Iron Hands would be... I'd say Iron Hands would be okay. But it would need to be a maxed out level Iron Hands. And even then it might not work overly well. Because if the Gallade has sharpness and it uses Psycho Cut, that would completely destroy the Iron Valley. That would completely destroy the Iron Hands. But I would say Iron Hands is a good starting point. Ideally, I would say Azumarill with Belly Drum Play Rough would be the best play for it. But Azumarill is a little more annoying to get one's hands on with Belly Drum. Hey, thank you, Omar. How you doing? Max 100. Yeah, I'd say Iron Hands would probably be the better play for it. Yeah, Belly Drum, Iron Hands into Drain Punch would likely be the best way to beat it. Because, like, you just need to worry about getting taken down after using Belly Drum. If you can survive the moves from it the first time and get off your Belly Drum and then get off your Drain Punch, you would be absolutely fine. Because at that point, you're basically just healing. Unless it gets, like, Psychic Terrain set up and then crits you with, like, Psycho Cut. I don't think it has any real way of taking you down from full health. Human has throat spray and Skeletor. Skeletor is very good. Skeletor is very good. Yes, Skeletor is on that list, on like the short list I have of pretty much best things to bring to Terra raids. For the simple reason of it has an auto boosting move, because you have not Throat Chop, not Throat Spray, Torch Song, that's the name of it. You have Torch Song, which automatically boosts its special attack every single time you use it. You have just a good move in Torch Song. It's a strong move. Is it the strongest move there is? No. But it's only 10 base power weaker than Flamethrower. You know, pretty much one of like the best fire type moves there is just for reliability, and it will always boost your special attack. When you consider, after you use Torch Song once, it is now equal in power to Fire Blast. That little drop in power is massively worth it. That little drop in power for the initial hit is massively worth it. It's so good. It can just bulldoze its way through. Well, not bulldoze, because it doesn't use bulldoze. But it can just blast its way through enemies by yelling in their face, and I love it. If you're having trouble with sleep, I recommend bringing in... if you can get a Grimmsnarl and teach it Misty Terrain and have the Grimmsnarl with Prankster on the ability, that would help. Misty Terrain prevents any Pokemon on the ground from being afflicted by status conditions, which means you cannot be put to sleep. I always bring it whenever I always bring my Grimmsnarl. I forgot the name for a second. I always bring Grimmsnarl when it comes to doing like Amoonguss raids, just in the event Amoonguss has the oh so annoying Effect Spore ability and the move Spore. But yeah, like, yeah, my short list of like, your mind is bright when it comes to Pokemon. I mean, a lot of it comes from a lot of, I play a lot of doubles, Shark. A lot of it comes just from doubles, where things like this are what you use a lot of when it comes to doubles. Because I remember bringing things like Tapu Fini into some of my doubles plans, specifically because you would see people bringing in Flame Orb, Guts, Conkeldurr. And by using, you know, sending in Tapu Fini would set up the Misty Terrain, prevent the Conkeldurr from getting its Guts turn 1, and then it would not be nearly as powerful. They would basically be forced to switch out, or keep in a weak Conkeldurr. No, well, relatively weaker Conkeldurr. As well as it just makes very predictable turns. But Tapu Fini also is no longer present, so Conkeldurr is a monster. Let's talk about those grass moves that have the best pun names. Oh, what is that, Wasabi? Please explain the puns, because I love puns. I feed on puns. I love them. Please explain the pun. Okay, we still got 4 minutes left on our timer. We still got a few minutes left. Okay, so it seems that there's a lot of Greavard here. Game, stop slowing down. I think I might need to I might want to turn my game off and turn it back on after this sandwich ends, because for those who don't know, there was, and I believe still to a degree, is the memory leak in the Switch. Not on the Switch, in just in the game, which the memory leak is pretty much if you play for too long, your game will start clogging up, and just like the short-term memory will just start clogging up and it'll slow your game down. And that's what actually caused a lot of crashes early on, because the game has no way of like clearing those generated things, because it generates more variables than it deletes, which can cause your game to slow down. They have lessened it, but it's not 100% eliminated, and I have basically had my game on for probably, I would say at this point, like 6 hours. Yeah, the memory leak only had a problem. Yeah, the memory leak was also only a problem in like 6-7 hour play sessions. We don't really do that much anymore. Hey, Kayla, how you doing? How you doing, Kayla? Hope we doing good. I think we're gonna go over odds for the first time on a Masuda hunt in Scarlet and Violet. You know, Unless we get this egg shiny in the next... What, like... Yeah, 15 eggs. We are going pretty much over odds. We are going over odds on this thing. But also, if you guys ever want to see, like, you know, the full nerdery of competitive battling experience that I, you know, bring to bear, I recommend sticking around for the battle streams. Because I enjoy battling to a great degree. And we do battles with viewers, we do ranked online battles, we do a little bit of all. We do a little bit of everything. It is indeed the Kayla. The Kayla has indeed arrived. Well, I'm glad you're doing well, Kayla. I am doing very well myself. We got... we don't really do Showdown. I prefer battling in-game. I do prefer battling in-game. Mostly because they have actually made it very easy to build teams in the mainline games. Unlike, you'll say, like Sun and Moon, where it was like a quite long process. You can mostly build teams in the span of maybe like an hour or so. Which is a good thing. They've very much streamlined the process of building teams to make it just more user-friendly. What is it? Not quality of life, but like I guess it would be quality of life changes they made with that have pretty much like reduced the need. Well, like not really the need, but like have reduced the validity of people basically going and genning teams, which I'm always happy for. Like anything that reduces the urge that people have to gen Pokemon is a good thing in my eyes. So the ability to basically just very easily prepare teams, I think is good. It definitely still will take a bit of time, but when you start learning the ins and outs of how to prepare a team very quickly, and you do it a couple of times, you can start, you know, banging out making teams, you know, very, very quickly. Yeah, I pretty much only do Yeah, the only reason I don't really do stuff also on Showdown... Hey, nice, what's up? Nice. The other reason I don't really do stuff with Pokemon Showdown is the purpose of Showdown is to basically be a battle simulator. You know, it's used for basically theory testing teams and basically testing minute tweaks. And those were a lot more difficult to do back in, you know, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, Gen 6, and, like, to a degree, Gen 7, where it did take a lot longer to build up entire teams, simply because raising Pokemon took a long time, as well as breeding them and removing the EVs. But now, it's very, very easy to do that. And I don't really feel comfortable with basically using a battle simulator for main playing, essentially. We're trying to big on... I have no idea what that is, Angel, but how are you doing, Nick? Welcome in. Hope you guys are doing well. Got shiny Charmads. Nice! Yeah, we do need to get shiny hunt. We need to get, like, Go-Goat at some point or something. Eventually, we're gonna get more shinies. We eventually have plans. I think, honestly, if I'm going to be shiny hunting for Abomasnow, I'm probably going to do, like, a grass sandwich up here. Okay, so there we go. Sandwich has run out. I am going to do just a reset on my game, just to clear out the short-term memory, just so it's running a little bit better. The issue with doing, like, the battle leader, that's kind of gambling, and I don't really feel comfortable with something like that. It's something that I don't really feel comfortable with doing something like that, where it's like, you know, basically, cause it feels like betting to a degree. You know, so something like that does feel a bit uncomfortable. Cave system where you stand on the spot, the mountains pop out of the wall, the sandwich is big. Save again, just to make sure. Alright, we'll just do a quick turn off, turn back on. This will clear out the game's basically short-term memory, and it will get the game to be running a little bit better. It happens with a lot of games, like it happens with Breath of the Wild, it happens with Legends. The funny thing is, a number of the game performance issues that actually Scarlet Violet has were performance issues that Legends also had. It's just that when it came to Legends, people didn't really notice them. Also, people were really not wanting to criticize Legends when it came out as well, which is another reason why a lot of the criticisms that this game gets, that Legends also shares, really are not distributed equally. Which is a fascinating thing. It's a fascinating thing that happens. That these two games have almost identical performance issues, but yet they were never pointed out with regards to Legends, because there is like this thing that we do where something, if it is released for the first time and it has issues, those issues do not get commented on. But when a sequel does the exact same things, then it gets blasted into oblivion. Free non-time traveling. Depends on the series where they do it in Wasab. The other day I talked about trying to give away. I haven't really nailed down when the shiny giveaway will be. One of the main reasons for it is the shiny giveaway is largely dependent on the rate at which we get excess shinies. You know, it's one of those things where I don't want to basically do it when I get like, say like 10 extra shinies and we do a giveaway. But I also don't want to do like, okay, wait until I finish the whole thing and then do it. So I'm still figuring out when would an ideal time to be. Like how many shinies would like constitute enough for the giveaway, but not be like so few that it would happen like every month. You know, it's a bit of a difficult thing to kind of puzzle out. There, this, that, 1, 2, 3. It's honestly not too bad of a sandwich if it weren't for the tomatoes. Understand cactus. What do you think is the most consistent item for Groudon? White herb, AV. It depends very much on the stats and very much on the moves, and also like the team as well. I know I always liked running AV, but that was just me. I'm in the Pokemon for raids and stuff. I meant like Pokemon for new raids and stuff. Oh, I guess it depends, like, okay, how they insert into the story, really, because I honestly thought when this game first was, like, announced, that was how they were going to do this game's raid events. The massive sandwiches you get from when you do picnics with a union circle and have, like, 3 or more people. That's when you get, like, the extra long giant sandwich. If you're not doing that with 3 people or more, you only get the regular sandwich. But yeah, I actually thought when this game was first announced, and the whole, you know, I guess like a dynamic of the past and future was kind of brought up, that they were going to have this game's version of raid dens. Oh. You get the same amount of ingredients regardless of when you have. You can always select that many ingredients. Unless that's tied into badges? Because I never actually made sandwiches until I beat the game. So I don't really know when you like unlock more sandwich ingredient slots, I guess. Because I only ever made sandwiches after beating the game. So I don't know if maybe it's linked to how many badges or like progress in the story, or maybe if when you beat the game you can make bigger sandwiches. Yeah, this was actually around where we found the shiny Citadel, and also the shiny Cupcho. I just do one ingredient and then Urban Mystica and Sparkle Tire here. Do you get Sparkle Power 3? Because I believe you need 2 Urban Mystica to get Sparkle Power level 3. Interesting. Because I've always seen that you need 2 Urban Mystica to get Sparkle Power 3. Unless that is like for this catch-all like chart for everything. But I've never seen anything that says like you can get 1 Urban Mystica. Interesting. I will need to look into that. I will need to look into that, because if that's the case, that would be very helpful to me. That would save a lot of time. Yeah, I always thought that you needed 2 Urban Mystica, but I guess you don't. So now we are about 15 encounters away from hitting odds for Score Bunny. If we do not get this shiny Score Bunny in the next 15 eggs, we will hit and pass odds. Which means we're going over odds for our first Masuda hunt in Scarlet Violet. Which, considering our good luck, I'm kind of surprised. But also, considering the terrible luck I had when it came to shiny hunting Carcadet, I don't think I'm due for any over odds hunt. Those of you guys who don't know about the shiny Carcadet hunt, I was hunting that freaking thing for probably 6 hours, over 10 sandwiches, and on the 10th sandwich I finally got my shiny Carcadet, and I will honestly say I am very glad I was not live when I was doing that hunt, because otherwise there would have been a lot of very specific choice words that I would not want to be on the channel. It's the game. Well, the thing is, there's never been mass release in any of the mainline games other than in home. You know, mass release was never in any of the mainline games. The only game that had mass release in it was Legends. But Legends is, well, Legends and Let's Go, but Legends is also very much not a main game. Legends is essentially Legends is a tech demo for this game. It very clearly was. It tech demoed a lot of the ideas for this. It was never made to be a full game. And it was basically a catch simulator. You know, that's kind of the funny thing about Legends Arceus, is that it was a game that, despite how revolutionary a lot of people took it for, no one really cares about these days. Like my friend Echo put it best. I'm aware it's a game. It's a great game when you play it it's a great first time experience and a game that you will never play again. That, yeah, it's a game that really, once you have finished it once, there really isn't much to go back for. I kind of find that fascinating. That for all of the applause that the game got, it kind of fell into this very interesting place of, it was good, but the novelty did start to wear off. Because it's telling that Sword and Shield outlived it. You know, for as much as Sword and Shield's issues are big issues, that game was still being played in mass by the Pokemon community on streams, in, spare time, up until the release of this game. And even today, people still go back and play Sword and Shield. And, I mean, granted, a large and almost exclusively because of Dynamax Adventures. Like, Dynamax Adventures carried that game. But it's just a very interesting thing that, for as lauded as Legends is, Sword and Shield still outlived it. Because it does do that, yeah, people, yes, an open world game, it does have a want by the audience. But we also do like battles. The lack of battles in Legends and really like the lack of stuff to do other than, catch and fill up the decks didn't really give it as much, replay value or like play value. Whereas something like, say, Sword and Shield, you had Dynamax Adventures, which was really something. You're not shiny, are you? No, you are not. Yeah, I just find that very, very just interesting. The way that actually worked out. It's not shiny. Come on, give me a shiny. Kind of surprised we've only gotten one shiny so far, but we also aren't encountering stuff as quickly as we do with, like, our other sandwiches. And I think it's just because of the terrain. It's just much more uneven. But yes, 10 more eggs, and we hit odds for Scarbunny. Yikes. This is not a good hunt for our hero when it comes to this frickin' Cinderace. I mean, I guess granted Cinderace and Raboot have heard that I'm not big fans of them. So I guess maybe they're just cowering in fear. Neither of those are shiny. Neither of those are shiny. Delibird is not shiny. You are not shiny. Divisible shiny, Slowpoke, and very nice. Yeah, a lot of shinies that we think don't look that different, we will notice quite quickly. Like, I told the difference between shiny Bergmite and a non-shiny Bergmite very quickly. We are a lot better at discerning the differences in certain shinies than we give ourselves credit for. Because after seeing the non-shiny for so much, when something looks different, it sticks out to us. Even if it's a very subtle, it's how I noticed that shiny Zapdos was shiny when we were hunting that back in Old Sun and Ultra Moon, even before the sparkles appeared. Because after seeing the non-shiny for so long, I noticed that looked slightly different. And boom, it was shiny. Great moment. Egg is hatching. That's not none of those shiny. But yeah, how is everyone doing tonight? How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing pretty well. Hope everyone is doing very well today. I certainly know I'm doing pretty well. None of those are shiny, right? Yeah, no. All those are gray legs. Legs! Gray legs. I saw Angel. You don't need to say last message. I read every message even if I don't verbalize it. Alright, let's see. Do we got... Nope, not seeing that. Okay, trying Nackley found one more hunting rock off halfway through the Switch Cloth. Spawn right Nackley. Yeah, I still need to find one more shiny Nackley. I mean, well... We got the shiny! Right before we hit odds! Alright, let's count them. Let's count them off. 102. No, 502. 503. 504 for that shiny. We are still under odds for every shiny by Masuda method. Let's friggin' go, people. Oh, that's great. Which means we only need one more for our living shiny decks. So, reset the counter. Let's reset the clock. As they say in Pacific Rim. Let's see. We can go change you to... No, wrong thing. Cinderace. There we go. Let's make this let's make Cinderace a little bigger. Wrong thing. There we go. No, wrong thing. No, wrong thing. Right. There. Drag that over there. Alright, we are now on to Cinderace. We are now on to Cinderace. Alright. Actually, what I probably should do is move these here. So yes, I'll do that. So I can still keep up the increments of 5. But yeah, that's amazing. So frickin' Bergmite and shiny thing like that. Again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so. We just got... So we actually got both typings of stuff that I was actually looking for, which is good. I was looking for a fire type shine. I was looking for nice favorite games. I wasn't a big fan of it. Because, like, for me, I like games where there was a lot more to do other than just, like, the catching stuff. Because, for me, a lot of what Legends was grinding and catching stuff. You know, there's a lot of good like, Legends is a game where there's a lot of great ideas. You know, it has a lot of great ideas in it. But I think the one issue it has is it spends a lot of its self essentially being a catch simulator. It's basically like an extended version of like it's a more refined version essentially of what Let's Go is. Because if you actually look at what Let's Go as a game is and you look at Legends, they're actually very, very similar games. You know, they are really non-battle, non-story focused Pokemon games where the primary main objective is just catching Pokemon. And I think that, to a degree, holds it back by basically hyper-specializing into very, very much focused on catching. And, like, it did good things with, like, lore, but also a lot of the lore that it has in itself is also pre-existing lore that it really just put together. They were a lot of separate things that it basically just pulled together into a single spot. The funny thing is, there has never been a single game where you could catch where you could catch every Pokemon in it. Like, that's the funniest thing. Is that the gotta catch 'em all motto of the series is purely an invention of, like, Western marketing that exists nowhere in the Japanese. Because when they just imported it over here from Japan, they just added that to the tagline for the English version. It's why if you actually look at, like, the way that the Japanese audience, like, looks at Pokemon games, the idea of, like, completing the Pokedex, they really don't care about. It's a fascinating thing that just, like, I wouldn't say, like, the disconnect between the East and West audiences, but, like, the massive cultural difference in terms of the way in which we play them. How you doing, Dark Litten? Hope you're doing well. How you doing? Because, yeah, the Japanese audiences, they don't really care about the full decks existing. That's one of the reasons why the national dex was actually removed. Is in Japan, it isn't a thing that they particularly care for. It's also why version exclusives are still a thing. Despite the fact that, you know, here in the West we absolutely despise the version exclusives, in Japan, they really just don't care, and I find that very fascinating. Just how massively different the two perceptions of the game are. I don't like the competitive battling, so I prefer to stick to shining and catching. Yeah, that makes sense. See, that I think also is a large part in like a lot of people's differences between like Legends and a lot of the other games. I mean, it isn't even just like competitive battling that I enjoy, but I enjoy like the story battles. And I was working on like a video review for Legends. I never really got around to finishing it, and I just kind of dropped it after a while. But it was looking over Legends. In the entire game, there are 3 trainer battles. But there are 3, battles in the game where the NPC has 2 Pokemon or more. Is that a shiny or no? That's probably not a shiny. It's not yellow. It's not yellow. There's like only 2 or 3 of them in the entire story where they have like 2 or more Pokemon. Like they have more than 2 Pokemon that are the same level as what yours is. Because when you do the matches against like Irida and Adaman, like yeah, they throw out the thing of like 3 Pokemon fight you at the same time, but it's like 1 Glaceon or Leafeon, and then like the other 3 Pokemon are all like level 15 and you're like level 40. And all of those battles, they are in the end game or they are after the game is beaten. It's Benny and Kamado right before you fight Dialga or Palkia. And then after the story is completed, Volo. Because when you face Ingo, his team is just ridiculously underleveled. And it's like, there has never been another game that has like absolutely a non-existence of battles. So the game is essentially just exclusively shiny hunting and catching. And that's fine. But it does also leave a lack of like variety and like other things to do. Because a lot of the side quests are really just, oh, you do a side quest, you get a dex entry. Or you do a side quest, okay, here's more materials for catching Pokemon. It's like you're doing side quests to get materials to do other side quests to get more dex entries. So it's kind of like all like circulates back into itself, which is a very... Yeah, I said there are 3 in the entire game. I said the entire game, and yeah, Volo is the endgame boss. But I said in the entire game. Leaving that out, it's only 2, and that's Kamado and Benny. And even then, to get to Volo, you have to beat the entire postgame. Yeah, he was a good one. His team though was just pretty much like Cynthia's with Hisui and Arcanine slapped into it though. I do like what they did with Volo though. Like I have to say, of most of the antagonists we've gotten lately, I would say he's probably my favorite. Well, second favorite of the recent ones. Favorite one overall. It's Ghetsis. Love Ghetsis. Like, Ghetsis is so unlikable, but I think that's why I like him. He's like Dio. He is a complete dick with absolutely no redeeming qualities. But that's what makes him so entertaining to watch, because you want to punch his teeth out. You just want to clock him right in the face. And like that is in my opinion like a good villain. There are 2 kinds of good villains. There's like the sympathetic ones like Loki, where you can relate them, you can empathize with them. And you don't seem like, oh, they're not all bad. We can understand why you do this. Or they're like Dio, where you just like there's nothing likable about them. They're absolutely irredeemable, and you just want to punch their teeth out. I love it. Like that's why I like Maxie and Archie so much as villains, because what they're trying to do makes sense. They're going about it completely wrong, but it makes sense. Like to a degree. To a degree, it makes sense. I mean, at least it makes sense in why they would think doing that is a good idea. Even if the practicality is, no, it's a terrible idea and it would have to be stupid. But it makes sense why they would think of that. Would also like why Cyrus, I like Cyrus as well. Because, like, Cyrus's whole reason for wanting to remove emotions are not wrong. They are the, like, emotions are the source of, like, all human suffering. But the reason he's like that is basically because he let his own parents down. He couldn't live up to their expectations. So it's like, I couldn't live up to my parents' expectations. I disappointed them, and I'm sad that I disappointed them. It's like, oh, I don't like that that's such a relatable thing. That is probably, like, the best motivation for any character in the series. And it's just so relatable. It's kind of emotionally crushing. Also, I mean, Guzma's also entertaining. Like, Guzma isn't even a bad guy. He's just, like, he's just doing what he does. Like, he has a good reason for why he does it. They've definitely... I'm glad that they have been stepping up a lot of, I guess, like, character writing? I don't think it is, like, I don't think it is, like, as much character writing as, like, just scenario development. Because they've definitely been getting better with it. You know, they've definitely been making more interesting stories and not really just reusing a lot of the older ones, which was problematic. Because that's what Team Flare was. Team Flare was basically, we'll take Team Galactic and kind of mix it with Maxie and Archie. Probably get out of here because the Blitz is going to make it a bit harder to see everything shiny if not. You. Nope. You do not have the special eyes. Do not have the special eyes. Specialized. We don't do trades for shinies. We don't do trades for shinies. That's one of the reasons we do shiny hunts. Is we want to get them ourselves. We do not do trades for shinies. I mean, well, I do not. Maybe someone in the chat wants one. Where is the shiny? Nope, not shiny. Kind of surprised. We got the shiny Sneasel. When we were doing the hunt for Cryogonal in the Cryogonal outbreak. But now we can't find one. Now we can't find them. I mean, that's just how RNG goes. That is just how RNG goes. Sometimes you get good luck. Sometimes you get bad luck. 10. There we go. Let's go back around. Yeah, we gotta look for like the special glowing orange eyes of evil on the Cryogonal, and that would be an indicator if it's shiny or not. But Sneasel was it. I'm kind of hoping that Sneasel doesn't shine soon, because I know shiny Sneasel I could just easily get by making dark sandwiches. You know, that I'm hoping that I don't get the reason that's why I'm hoping I don't get shiny Sneasel soon is I can make dark sandwiches to make that easier. So I'm hoping I don't get shiny the Abomasnow family shiny Snow, because I also already have a shiny Abomasnow back in Sword and Shield. So I'd only need to get a shiny Snover, and I can easily get that by making grass sandwiches around here. So I'm hoping to get Bergmite. Because if I can get Bergmite, I guess I could probably just breed for Cryogonal. I feel like breeding... Well, I mean Snover as well. I guess Cryogonal I could probably just breed for as well. Snover, well, I guess Snover... I guess I could do the other ways. I'll need to figure out the other ways. I'll need to figure out some other hunts methods for that. I got ideas. I like how the guy has 3 badges. Oh, right. Yeah, I do need to get Cubchoo. I think, again, Cubchoo I could just do by Masuda method. That is one of the key issues with this area. Is with how many there are. Oh, yeah, no, Delibird's also a flying. I could just do flying sandwiches for Delibird. I could just do flying sandwiches when it comes to Delibird. I'm probably going to breed for Spiritomb anyway, because Spiritomb is just going to be annoying. Spiritomb is just a basket case and a half to deal with on its own. So I'll deal with that when the time comes. I'll cross that bridge when I guess I need to. Yeah. Scooping hatch from the egg. Very good. Just make sure that you guys are both connected to the internet if you guys are trading. I've had a lot of times where people have been trading and they one person forgets to connect to the internet. So this will be 15. I'm glad that our Masuda hunts have been all going very well. It is making me worried, though, that we're going to get some RNG whiplash. And that we are going to get some bad luck for future hunts. That is what worries me. Nope. Nope. None of those are shiny. Oh. So many things here. I am glad that I decided I'm just going to be hatching eggs while doing this. Because it's so much better. It's so much easier doing it this way rather than just running around. Because I would be running around anyway. And as we saw from before, I found shinies while just wandering around. So I might as well do both simultaneously and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Not you, you're not shiny. Not boxes, I mean picnic. Picnic. Yeah, Eevee is gonna be... Eevee is gonna be a nightmare to find shiny hunting. Because that I'm gonna need to do an outbreak for. Eevee is a shiny that I have basically accepted as that is going to boil down to I'm going to need to Masuda hunt that one, or I am going to need... Hey, is everybody back on? How you doing? Like, I'm going to need to either Masuda hunt that one, and or hunt that thing via outbreaks. That is going to be pain. Because I need to get one for every single one of those forms. I need to get one for every single form. Enjoy the Fido. Everyone loves dogs, CV. I also love dogs. I have a dog. I also have a dog. Again, guys, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And also, you know, share that to your friends so they know what we do here. I'm glad that we're doing this today. Okay, so what? We started at what, like 30 something? So we're doing what, about... We're averaging a good amount of eggs per stream. I love it. Just hop up, hatch. Hop up. I have a Samoyed. If you know what a Samoyed is, basically it's a big fluffy dog. It's a big fluffy white snow dog. They are glorious and wonderful. Still got a few more eggs in this one. Okay. Nope. I'm really hoping I get another shiny today. Like, if I can get another shiny in this batch of eggs, or I can just get another shiny over, that'll be great. What am I gonna... So what am I gonna be... I guess I don't really have a priority Ice-type Shiny Hunt target right now. You know, like right now, I guess my priority target is, I guess, Satotl? But even then, like, Satotl is one that I can get elsewhere for a much easier way. So I'm just doing, like, a bulk Ice Shiny hunting. And of course, you know, we still have the Cinderace to do. We still have the Cinderace to hunt. I'm looking forward to seeing Cinderace in competitive that are shiny, and they have the mightiest mark. I'm looking forward to seeing that, because it is so clearly hacked. Because you actually can't, because the Cinderace is shiny locked when it comes to the mightiest Cinderace raids. So if you have a shiny marked one that is the mightiest, that is Gen. And I'm looking forward to seeing if people actually try to bring those. Purely down to, it will be so clearly obvious, because it is impossible to get that. And that there are times that people have routinely genned shinies that cannot exist. And it's just funny catching them that way. Because I don't remember when it was, but it was a couple of months ago that someone posted a picture of, like, their PC box in Pokemon, and it had two Calyrex. It was like Ice Rider Calyrex. I think it was, one was, I think, Ghost Rider, and I think the other was Ice Rider Calyrex. The thing is, you can only fuse one Calyrex at the same time. You cannot have two fused Calyrex in a single game. And the picture was, like, immediately taken down because you simply cannot have two in the same game. And I find that very funny. People can... Exactly! Like, that's why I'm looking forward to seeing it, because it's going to be so clearly hacked. It's going to be, yes, that's funny. It's funny when people get caught doing that in, like, big official events. Or they do that, they take it down. Like, they take a picture down, because why did you take the thing down? Well, what was in it? So then people are just going to look at it more closely. Because there are ways of seeing those pictures, even if they've been removed. There's still ways of seeing it. Because someone probably told them about it, like, oh yeah, this is a thing, and people have just noticed it. I just find that very funny. Not able to write in. What do you mean, Mudkip? Not even with trading? No, you cannot get it with trading. The game will not allow you to have two of them in the game. Because I believe you cannot trade fused Pokemon. Yeah, I don't think you actually are even able to trade them, or even go to, like, go into a trade thing with them in your party, specifically because it technically is two Pokemon, and the data for that base form is in your game. It would basically be trading two Pokemon at once, which the game will simply not allow to happen. The way it's coded is very, very strange. Hey, Moth, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. I thought you said the Flingza was nerfed, Mudkip. The Flingza Rangers have been disbanded, Mudkip, because the Flingza got nerfed. Egg. But yeah, it was a very amusing thing. Because I remember, I didn't even notice that one of my friends in the Penn State Club pointed it out, that was a thing that you actually cannot have two in one game at the same time, and I would never have noticed that looking at that picture. You can only have two horses. Exactly. Calyrex can only fuse with one of them. Because it's like with Kyrem. Kyrem, you can only fuse one Kyrem at a time. You can have multiple, horses. You can have multiple Calyrex, but only one of them can be fused at a time. It will simply not allow it if you have more than one. Which I do find very, very amusing, which means the only way for someone to have gotten a second one is you basically inserted into the game a second fused already Calyrex, which is impossible to do because you cannot trade them. Let's go to Shiny Carcadet the other day. Nice! Nice, it's great getting it. Yeah, Carcadet has definitely been an annoyance of mine. Carcadet is probably been my worst hunt so far, because I have only gotten 3 of them. And it took... I've only gotten 2 of them, and I still need to get 1 more, and I have done 10 sandwiches for that freaking thing. You only have 2 horses, but you only one of them on a Calyrex. Of the horses. Yeah, but you can't get more than one of them fused. But you can't have them be fused. Yeah, you can have multiple horses in a single game, but you cannot have multiple fused Calyrexes in a single game. Because you can't deposit fused Calyrex or fused Necrozma. And my second with 3 minutes to spare. Nice. A lot of people use Home. A lot of people use Pokemon Home. It's just that right now, Home is not accessible from Scarlet Violet. That access is coming out in about 2 months. And once that happens, people are going to be using Pokemon Home a lot more. It's just right now, you can't use it with this game. You can only use it with the previous games. You probably do Flings of Rangers after using the nerf, but good, you just can't spam them as much. So you said they destroyed the Flings. I'm like, yep. You said they destroyed it. But yeah, a lot of people do use Pokemon Home. It's just that it isn't used as actively right now because this is the intermediate period where Home is not necessary because you can't import stuff from Home into Scarlet Violet. Once Scarlet Violet hits, once Home hits Scarlet Violet, Home is going to explode again. Home is going to absolutely explode again. Nice! Shiny Graphic. It's always fun to find shinies. It is always fun to find shinies. And spam risk denied. Yeah, one issue of applying to jobs is you get a lot of spam calls. You're not shiny. You get a lot of spam calls. That's how like some of those sites get, they get money is they just like sell your information. It's annoying. So I get like just spam calls every now and again from telemarketers. And those immediately go to the do not call option. The block. I'm very much hoping I do not find another shiny perfect. I have not even had a sandwich running for like probably the last 20 minutes? Yeah, I have not had a sandwich running for the last probably 20 minutes. So I need to go make another one. Yeah, that would explain why I've been seeing a bunch of other things that are not ice types. That would make sense. Next Splatfest, if we don't say Flings of Rangers back. Exactly, fun. Flings of Rangers were always back. Flings of Rangers never left. Alright, let's make another sandwich. I think, at this point, I've actually memorized this sandwich just by heart. Pepper. Burger. And spicy. Silver pick. I just bought like a 60, I think, silver packs. I need to go at some point. I need to do like massive hunting for more Herba Mystica. Because I had like 20 Herba Mystica, I think, for every single Herba Mystica type. And then we just started doing a whole bunch of shiny hunts. And I really haven't gone back and replenished my supplies of Herba Mystica. I need to go and do that. I also need to go and start stocking up on Herba Mystica for Scarlet. Because we are going to be hunting Roaring Moon, and we are going to be hunting all the Paradox Pokemon in that game. Which is not going to be fun getting all those Herba Mystica. Must be charged with missiles even faster. Why am I not surprised that Mudkip would go, honestly, for special charge-up spam? Because it's Mudkip. Obviously, I think Mudkip would do. That is a very Mudkip thing. There we go. Sparkle Power, Encounter Power. Done pickening. Of course, everyone gets a level up. Good thing is that doesn't give me much stuff. Headgear are already done, so the shoes are halfway done. Fine. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so I was right. This is 25. Also found a shiny Palmy, Iron Bundle, a Spathor, and Golduck. Fun. Very fun. I have all of those with the exception of the Golduck. I still need to get the Psyduck family at some point. I had a Psyduck Outbreak, but I was not able to do it because for some reason my game decided I'm going to override all of your all of your outbreaks today with new ones. With different outbreaks. For no reason other than something wants to say, screw you. So I need to go hunting for another outbreak of those at some point. And that was not fun, because I was really looking forward to hunting shiny Psyduck. I was really looking forward to that one. Think about giving clothes Ninja Squid instead of Charge Up, but not yet sure. I mean, Ninja Squid with Rollers is fun. Rollers with Ninja Squid is very fun. Yeah. Good thing is that I already do... Actually, I'm not going to need to hunt as many of the EV family, because I do already have... I do already have a Vaporeon, where it only means, okay, I'm going to have to do one less hunt, but still. Alright, I'll hear you out, Mudkip. I'll hear you out. You have 30 seconds for me to hear you out. Gold Arrow Spray team. I don't know what the Gold Arrow Sprays kit is, Mudkip. I do not know what the Gold Arrow Sprays kit is. Oh yeah, that's like a Spirit Bomb Dragon Ball Z thing. That was the Spirit Bomb spam. I vaguely remember you mentioning this idea before. Yeah, I vaguely remember something about this. Ba-da-da-da-da. Nope. I'm still surprised we've only gotten one shiny from all of our sandwiches so far. Because we've done... This is our fourth sandwich. And we've only found one shiny. I mean, I did mention before that in Area 0 you have a much higher spawn density. And that the mountainous areas are definitely not as player-friendly when it comes to shiny hunting. Just because of the terrain. But yeah. I mean, we still got the score bunny, so there is that, and I can always just grind out more Herba Mystica later. It's just a matter of doing enough. Palmy Iron Bundle Golduck were from sandwiches. A Spathor and Girafarig were not fine. That's always That's always sad. Like, I don't know what's more satisfying. Getting a shiny not from a sandwich. Or getting like three shinies on a single sandwich. I feel like the 3 on a single sandwich is more satisfying because it's time constrained. Whereas the other ones, it's the other stuff. With the other ones, it's like, you can just find them while wandering around. Because I have found a number of shinies just while wandering around. But when getting... Cause I don't remember... I think it was definitely when I was live. I broke my record of... It might have been while I was live. It might have been when I was doing the shiny hunt then we fight with Dalton. I don't remember exactly. But I did break my thing of I got 5 shinies in a single sandwich. Well, that was the Dunsparce. No, that was the Dunsparce. That was very much when I was live. Because that was with the Azrael. Because, yeah, there's like the Lechonk, the Azrael, and then we found 3 Dunsparce shinies. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I think. My memory might be a little fuzzy on that. But, for 4 weapons with Booyah Bombs, being gold, there's a Flash Machine, Hydra, Booyah Bombs, you choose different Booyah Bombs. Ah, interesting. Fun idea, Mike. I like that. That's a very fun idea. But I got shiny iron bundle and gold from one sandwich. The other shiny palmy is a different one. Ah. Well, I mean, they wouldn't be able to boost the same sandwich. Yeah, the palmy would have to have been a different one because it does not interact with the water sandwich, which... So you did a water sandwich for iron bundle. Interesting. Because I ran an ice one. Because I believe iron bundle is the only ice type you can find in Area 0. So I ran that as a way of exclusively getting myself iron bundle spawns. Nope. 30. Hey, Rabbit, how you doing? How you doing, Rabbit? Hope you're doing well. The Arrow Sauce Machine. Fun. See, I would never think of this stuff, Mudkip. That's why I enjoy your Splatoon ideas, because I would never think of this crap. I'm just like, okay, I'll just stick with my dualies. I just stick with my dualies and just go point and shoot. I mean, I like the Splash-O-Matic. The Splash-O-Matic I enjoy using. But Splash-O-Matic is something different. But yeah, come on, game. There's no way I would ever trust you with the Hydra. Why would you not trust me with the Hydra? Come on, Mudkip. Why would you not trust me with the Hydra? Why would you not trust me with the Hydra? Oh, you were hunting more than... So you were hunting more than Iron Bundle? Because, yeah, whenever I did the hunts, before figuring out what to run for a poison sandwich, I would only ever do the hunts that, a sandwich that only gave me as few encounters as possible. They give me as few encounters as possible. Yes, we got a shiny Score Bunny, so we got our shiny Raboot, and we also got a shiny Bergmite today. But we are 1 shiny in 4 sandwiches. So we're a little bit under luck on this. We did manage to get the shiny Score Bunny before we hit odds. So I'm very happy about that. We actually did not hit odds when it came to the reboot. So that was fun. Yeah, it was 504 eggs. Yeah. As one of the mans we use for do it one. I've seen it with the Hydra C. It needs to get what you like. Fair enough, Mudkip. Fair enough, but it's still fun to use. I still enjoy using the Hydra. It's very fun. Hydra is fun. That's not shiny. Those don't look blue enough. Man, when Pokemon Home was added, where you can... Why are you going first? I'm not sure, I'll be real. Mostly because I'm fairly confident that the other stuff is going to be added into the game. I'm still going to not have everything in this game shiny hunted, so I'll still need to be hunting other things. And I'm probably going to prioritize... I'm probably going to still prioritize what I haven't gotten in this game yet. If we've finished everything in this game, I'll think about it then. But there definitely will need to be some heavy thinking about what we're going to be doing with that, because that's going to depend on how much we've gotten by that point, I guess. Yeah, it's very hard to tell if some of these are shiny or not just because of the lighting. Because the arms are blue when it comes to the shiny. You have 60 days until spring start. I mean, I think it's early May. It's early May is when... I'm not early May. Early... They said spring of 2023. But they could also release it sooner than that. But I don't think they will. But again, it does depend on how much our shiny hunts get finished by then. I think by that point we will have finished a number of them. But also with the way that our track record has been lately when it comes to shiny hunts, we have definitely slowed down. We have lost a bit of steam in our speed of shiny hunting. Because we had days where we get 9 shinies in a single day. We got, 6, 5... Now, we're getting maybe 1, 2 shinies a stream. We're still getting a good number of them, but we're nowhere near as many as we were before. So, just extrapolating that out, say 60, say what, 63 days? We highballed, say, like, 3 shinies a day. That would be about 100. That would be about a little under 200 shinies for that. It would be about 190. And we still have not gotten, we have not gotten about 200 in the game so far. We've gotten about 90, but a lot of those also include duplicates. We're really more about like 80s for number of shinies. So even if we keep on track, we still would need, we definitely still wouldn't have the full decks by then. Unless we get a massive string of luck going forward. I mean, definitely if we get Eevee knocked out at one of those points, we get an Eevee outbreak, or if I get like a whole bunch of outbreaks of things I need, because one thing that has slowed us down is a lot of the outbreaks I need I just haven't been getting. So once we get those, things would likely pick up. But it's 4 backliners and won't be very good unless all 4 Hydra mains are on like Call. I mean, I feel like that. I feel like if you're running all 4 Hydras, you'd have to be on call for that. You wouldn't run that unless you're all on call, or you're absolutely memeing. Unless you are actually memeing, I think you'd only do that in a VC. Score, Bonnie. Yeah, I definitely think that we will finish our living shiny decks, at least for this game, by about summer. You know, I think by summer, we will definitely have the game's living shiny decks finished, and we'll be moving on to a living shiny decks for a lot of other games. Because a while ago, I did actually think about doing like a living shiny dex for Let's Go. And we still have a bunch of other shiny hunts and other games that we have still been working on. We have the shiny hunt in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, which is the not Necrozma, not Cosmog, Roswell, Rock Flying, Minior, that's what his name is. The Minior shiny hunt in Masuda Method in Ultra Moon. We've still got the Let's Go Fossil Reset Hunt, which, for those who don't know, in every game, when you're shiny hunting the fossils, those are full odds. Even if you have the shiny charm, those are full odds. They are programmed in such a way that rolling them is rolled independent of the shiny charm. So, yeah, I'm hunting Kabuto Omanite and Omastar and Kabutops functionally with no shiny charm in Let's Go. Not fun. Not fun. But I mean, you come for the suffering. You don't come to see me succeed. You come to see me suffer. Oh yeah, they also still got Breath of the Wild to still get working on. We still got to get that, finish our 100% project of Breath of the Wild. Because I would like to finish Breath of the Wild before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. I would like to finish that. But, I mean, also we don't know when Tears of the Kingdom is coming out. I'm interested in seeing what Tears of the Kingdom is gonna bring, but I definitely think that Tears of the Kingdom is gonna not be like I'm interested to see what happens in Tears of the Kingdom. Probably not. I don't know, Mudkip. I might do it. I might be able to do it. Like, the thing is, we finished. Oh, with the 27. Okay. I mean, if we hit the game pretty aggressively, we should be able to 100% it, because we finished like half. We finished like all the shrines. We finished most. I think we finished every shrine. We finished a lot of this. We finished. I mean, the shrine quests go hand in hand with that. So the shrine quests are all 100% completed now. We just gotta go talk to the people that trigger them. We don't have all of the quests finished, but I feel like if we spent less time dilly-dallying and more time actually doing the side quests, because one thing that has definitely slowed us down with those side quests is my tendency to go off and just fight Lionels. And just fight boss monsters instead of actually completing the side quests. I think if I knuckle down. Yeah, I know about the Koroks, but trust me, Mudkip, I have a plan for the Koroks. Because the Koroks are not going to be nearly as big of an issue as you realize. I have a plan for the Koroks. Well, good to see you home, Cactus. Good to see that you're home. I don't think the Koroks are going to be nearly as big of an issue as you think they are, Mudkip. I don't think they're going to be as big of an issue. Because I'm pretty... I don't remember how many Koroks I actually have already gotten. But I've definitely gotten, like... I would say maybe at least... probably 100 Koroks at this point. Yeah, I know. I have to get all 900 of them. But I've gotten probably at least 100 or something at them at this point. Yeah, Koroks are definitely 70% of the game. They're a huge portion of the game. But the thing about the Koroks is, even though they are 70% of the game's total progress, a lot of it is, okay, just go here and do a little bit of a thing. It's not like, say, doing all the shrines, where all the shrines take, you know, probably 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to do most all of them. You add that up over around 100, you know, 120 shrines, that definitely adds up and is a big thing that you have to sink a lot of time into. But with Koroks, for some of them, it's, you know, fairly straightforward. It's very obvious. You know, okay, just do this thing. You know, put a thing here, or just move this thing, or catch a thing. I mean, the Kilton medals aren't that much of a difficult thing. I mean, I can just go put on the Barbarian armors and just go kill the monsters. So I'm pretty sure we've wiped out most of the monsters in the overworld of the boss ones. So, like, those are not as big of an issue. I definitely think if we do, you know, a few solid streams of just knocking out Koroks, we could probably take out maybe, you know, maybe not 100 Koroks in a single stream, but definitely like 70 or something in a single one. It's just a matter of timing. 50. Can Gambit 100 IV, advantage, Shmiakin Raids. Fine. Gambity Face is indeed a nightmare to deal with. Yeah, I mean, I like King Gambit with Defiant, because so many of those things enjoy using moves. Wait, no, wait. 15. Oh, this is 45 then. Okay, so I forgot to just take up the counter then. So this is actually 45. Moldugas are very easy to get Kilton medal, all 4 of them. Yeah. Like, I've dealt with most of the Lionels. I'm pretty sure I've dealt with most of the... I have not dealt with most of the Talus. Those I know I haven't done a whole lot of. I don't think I've done a whole lot of the... There's Talus, Molduga, Hinoxes... So it fluctuates. I've done a number of them, but I also don't think there's that many Hinoxes. Oh, along with them. Okay. Okay, so it's Hinoxes, Talus, Moldugas, and Hinoxes. So Hinox, Talus, and Molduga. Okay. It's not that bad. There's 3 of them. I mean, also, like, don't have to fight Ganon. Yeah, the Hinoxes, I think, are probably the easiest to go do. The Talus... Oh, there's 40 of them, really? 40 Hinox. Interesting. The Talus, I know those will be the easiest, because there are certain weapons that deal a lot of damage to Taluses. And I can honestly just, okay, just go in and just spam Urbosa's Fury, and then just... Because for some reason, Urbosa's Fury takes down most of their health. You know, most of their health is just instantly dropped if you just spam Urbosa's Fury once. I think it's like half. It's half to like a third to a quarter. It's a lot of their health is just gone instantly. Hinoxes, those will be easier to do. But yeah, I've definitely got a bit of a plan. I still think if we do a couple of solid streams of BOTW, we would be able to knock out all the Koroks in relatively quick succession. But yes, there's definitely a good amount of stuff that I'll be able to do with it. Because again, one thing that has been definitely holding us back when it comes to the Breath of the Wild progress is just, I go out and I want to just fight monsters. If I'm just like, no, I don't need to go and hunt for more monsters to get more Lionel stuff. Just stick with the Master Sword and stick with the Hylian Shield. And I'm good. And then I can do the Korok. Because the only thing I think it might take a while is some of the Korok ones where it's like shoot targets. But I'll figure out those. I'll fix it in post. I'll fix it in post. But yeah, I definitely have plans for Breath of the Wild, like 100%ing that game. I've definitely got plans. I would like to finish 100%ing it before Tears of the Kingdom comes. So I am wondering if you 100% BOTW, you get like something in Tears of the Kingdom. I doubt it, but it would be neat if it does, if you do get something. I doubt it'll happen, but it'll be neat if you do. But yeah, I am thinking we're probably gonna do one more sandwich, and then we're gonna wrap this stream up. Because this was productive. Again, 2 shinies in a single stream. 2 shinies is far from bad. Do some Fairy Terror raids so I can change King Gambit Terror type from fighting. Just don't smack me. I mean, you gotta remember, in Terror raids, you have to wait at least 3 turns. In reality, it's more like 4 or 5 turns before you can even Terra type. So, if something has a fighting type move normally that can threaten a King Gambit, it may be best to simply not bring the King Gambit. That's really the only issue with Terra raids, is terastallizing is a good thing in theory, to like Terra type into something else. The problem is, it takes so long to Terra type. If your primary type is disadvantageous against what you're fighting, it may simply be better to just not bring it. Because you'll just get knocked out very, very easily, repeatedly, over and over again. Which is why my general rule of thumb for Terra raids is it's best to have your Terra types for your raid Pokemon be their own same type attack bonuses. So that way you can just double down into your own typing and then use that to blitz through things. Probably not for 100%, but you'll probably get something for having BOTW, save a switch, and might give like a... Oh, Age of Calamity! That's what AOC was. I was like, well, what's AOC? Oh, Age of Calamity. I actually never... I don't have Age of Calamity. I played Hyrule Warriors once. And it's one of those games that I've heard a lot of good things about, but the person that I played that game with was the now former friend who basically was gaslighting me for many years. And so like a lot of that just goes into like just a very negative experience with something like that. So it's kind of negativity by association is why I'm probably not going to do anything with that, is that it just reminds me of that person, and I kind of despise that person for a great many reasons. So it's just kind of like that, like, poisoning by association, in a way. Where it can be, like, the best game in the world. But because, like, that well has been thoroughly poisoned. And there is no coming back from that. For a second, I saw the shiny Flamigo, and I thought, oh, is that a shiny Sneasel? No, it is not. It is just a Flamigo. And it is annoying. I probably should hunt some of the things that I'm going to need for Legends in, from Legends in Legends. Because I'm going to need to hunt for a Hisuian Avalugg. I'm going to need to hunt for a couple of Hisuian stuff. So I probably should just do that at some point. But man, I really don't want to play Legends again. I really don't want to replay Legends. I mean, not really replay Legends, but like play Legends again. Because I've mentioned before, when I lost that 10 hours of game completion time for Dex entries, that was what killed that game for me. I did 10 hours of Dex completion. And those 10 hours just wiped away because my game decided to crash. And I'm just like, okay, I'm not doing this again. You don't... Yeah... Because if you have BFTW save on your Switch, then when you play AOC, you get a training sword for a link. Yeah, like, I mean, I was never a big fan of Legends, I'll be honest. Like, even before that event happened, I wasn't exactly what you'd call a big fan of Legends. Again, I love battling, and even if it isn't competitive, I enjoy, like, battles against NPCs. I enjoy more going on in the game than just basically catching Pokemon. And Legends was a game that really didn't have all that for me. So it was a game that wasn't really doing too much for me as is. And then, like, that just was, like, icing on the cake of, alright, this is just bad experience. Which is one of those, like, yeah, if you're playing, like, if you're playing Scarlet Violet for the, like, day one release, you're just, like, binging the game, going all out playing it, and it crashes on you, and you lose a lot of your save data, I can, to a degree, understand, you know, being upset with that. But the other thing about it is that you need to deliberately turn off autosave. So, like, you need to go and, like, you need to manually turn off the autosave. And then that becomes a problem. It only becomes a problem because you have manually turned off a default setting, which, you know, games, even other games can crash for a while, but it got so boring quickly you couldn't reset outbreaks anymore. Like, my friend Echo, the best way to describe Legends is how he described it to me. And let me go check that. Great game. I want to find his exact words. Yeah, yes, I understand that it's a great game that you'll never... Yeah, it's a great game that you'll never play again. That was the way Echo basically summed the entire game up. And I honestly think that is the most accurate description of Legends. Hey, Caleb, welcome back. Yeah, it's a great game that you'll never play again. Because I think that is really more defining of Legends' identity than anything else. Is that it's a game in the same vein as Platinum, where the first time experience of it left a massive impression on people, but it's a game that on replay will never be able to recapture that. Yeah, I've played Xenoblade Chronicles. I've played the original Xenoblade. I am not a fan of 2. I am not a fan of Chronicles 2. I've not played X or 3. I plan to play 3, possibly at some point. I'll need to look a little bit more into 3 before I get it. Yeah, exactly. That is the best way of really summing up Legends, is that there are good things about it. But a lot of the good things Legends did are things that really only work in the context of a first-time playthrough. Because when you play it again, a lot like the majesty, a lot of the grandeur of the game, you've already experienced, you've already taken it in. And things start feeling like a grind because they are a grind. You know, it's very telling that the bulk of the game's story playtime is going around and catching Pokemon the first time to unlock your other areas. Yeah, I was like, it is pretty clear that in Legends you are supposed to be catching stuff as you go along. Problem is, we don't really do that. We kind of just blitz through areas and then start catching stuff afterwards. Which is why that Legends kind of didn't work in that way, where we basically had to go back and grind. Again, it was a very good game for what it was. It's just what it was doesn't always mesh with the way that we play. I feel like the best parts of seeing these. I would say the music of Xenoblade games is a great part of it, but I wouldn't say it's the best. Like that's a bold statement, because there's a lot of great things about Xenoblade games. There's a lot of great things about Xenoblade games. The music is a component of the greatness. Never got to 10 stars. I only got to 9 and gave up because it was boring at that point. Yeah. Like, there are certain Pokemon in that game that are just a pain in the butt to get. Like, Chirim is a nightmare to get. And then just getting, like, full stars on some Pokemon is just very, very annoying. Because, like, they're specific weather dependent. They are just annoying to get their criteria for. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, I did say back on Legends release, and why, you know, as more time has gone on, it has been more and more confirmed by the way that, you know, Scarlet Violet has been constructed, that Legends was, in many ways, never its own game. It was always essentially a tech demo and scaffolding for Scarlet and Violet, to basically trial run a number of systems, trial run a number of idiosyncrasies, and then expand those out into a much larger project. And again, for what Legends was, it was fantastic. But it was more or less always going to be a tech demo. With the inclusion of the outbreaks, with the changes to the overworld that this game has relative to other Pokemon games that are mainline, this game is essentially what Legends would be like if it was a mainline game. You know, if it had full battles, if it had a story that wasn't just go out and catch stuff. This is essentially a complete game. When you get another Legends game, I hope it gets sent to the future. I'm skeptical if we will ever get a Legends game, another like Legends style game. I think that there's definitely a possibility. For again, there's amazing songs. You'll know our name. You'll know our name. Mechanical Rhythm are honestly two of my favorite songs in that game. The funny thing is, I said that right before you even mentioned that about my favorite one was, but I could see them doing a future Legends game. However, wait, is that a shiny? Is that another shiny? Oh my gosh, another shiny frickin' Bergmite. Woohoo! Let's go! Like, okay, freaking egg interrupting me right as we find another shiny Bergmite. Hey, Panther, welcome in. Wait, come on. No. Come on. Yes. There's the shiny. We have made progress. 3 shinies today have finished the standard shovel face line. We're good. We have finished the standard shovel face line. I'm happy on that. I saw the yellow. Nice, 3 shinies today. Welcome in, Panther. How are you doing? What were those 3 shinies you got? What were the 3 shinies you got? Good thing is, this thing actually is not on a timer, because I can just run away instantly. I can just run away and this thing will still be here. It won't get knocked out. Alright. There we go. Oh, what shiny did you get today, Panther? Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. I don't really play music from other things, because, like, copyright could be a pain in the butt. Copyright can definitely be a pain in the butt. Nice! Yeah, one of our first hunts we got in this game was actually, this family. But we frickin' got frickin' Shovelface. We got shiny Shovelface family. I am happy about that. I'm honestly thinking at this point, I'm also thinking at this point that we just do the other ones by other hunts. I'm thinking at that point. I think it'd probably go for like Citadel in another place. Because I would like to get Citadel. So, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to get... Pretty sure that this is going to be our last one of this set. So take us up to 60. Ooh, nice. Just Urban Mystic hunting. Very good. I need to Urban Mystic hunt as well. My Urban Mystica supplies are running very low. So, 2 shinies in 4 sandwiches. We're definitely under... I mean, we average about 1.5 shinies a sandwich, and this is very much within the parameters, I guess, for our normal... Wait. Is that... No, it's not orange. Yeah, this is very much in the parameters for, like, statistically for the other hunts. But it just I would have liked more. Yeah, I'm thinking... I don't know. I know that there is one place where it's not a lot of ice types spawn, and you basically just get the Citadel family. So I think we're going to go there to try to finish up the sandwich. And try for Citadel. But also, I kind of want to go for Cryogonal. Because, like, Cryogonal is going to be a pain. Now all I need is Slitherwing and have all the Volcarona forms. Yeah, I still need to go for, my Scarlet Paradoxes. I've gotten all of the Violet ones, but I still need my Scarlet Paradoxes. Oh yeah, I also need Snorunt. So yeah, I guess we will still be hunting here for a while, because we do still need to get a couple of other shinies around here. We still do need... Yeah, okay, so I was right. That was the last. Yeah, I'm going to need to release all of those off-stream. I'm going to be releasing all the spare Scorbunny off-stream. Yeah, I'm probably going to be... I'll be figuring out hunts in the future. I'll be figuring out future stuff. People who don't play VC, the music is good. Exactly. It is indeed Rhyme time. I was actually watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures a few weeks ago. I think it was when I got to Battle Tendency, and I was like, Joseph literally just looks like Ryan if you made his color palette blue. Like, if you had Ryan dye his hair blue and have like his all his stuff just be basically blue in color, he would look like Joseph Joestar. Young Joseph Joestar, I should say. And I love it. He's even got like a bit of a similar personality. I told you, Mudkip, I finished everything up to Stone Ocean. I finished Stone Ocean like 2 weeks ago. I finished Stone Ocean a while ago, Mudkip. I have a fantasy way I'm climbing into my Mechanis presently. Oh, you have still yet to hear one of the best songs in the entirety of Xenoblade. You have yet to hear... You have yet to hear one of the best songs in Xenoblade yet. And those are bold words, but I stand by them. Like, the song that you have yet to hear... I don't know if you know who Chugga Conroy is, but Chugga Conroy, personal hero of mine, has said that song is one of their favorite pieces of music, period. And when you hear the song, you're going to know. Metalface is also great. Like, I saw Xenoblade for the first time when I had just finished, or was still in the process of watching, Transformers Prime. So, I saw, like, so I saw Transformers Prime Starscream. And I recommend you look up Transformers Prime Starscream. And then I saw Metal Face, and I'm like, these two look the same. They are both tall, like the same like height. You know, they are tall, like very like skeletal, thin, you know, gaunt, I guess is the best way of describing it. Robots with like Freddy Krueger claws are like cowards, have like a very same face shape, talk like the same way. I don't care what my next hunt will be. I honestly don't much different idea when it comes to my hunts. When I shiny hunt, I'll do what I think I'm gonna hunt for. How should we prepare? It's matter to beat him. Regular ninja's gonna beat the bang. I have no idea yet, Ginger. The issue is with Greninja, we don't know what its moves are gonna be. I'm currently thinking over a couple of ideas, but the main issue is with what Greninja is weak to, and what type combination it is, and with what they have historically done, I don't really see a good group of things to bring. You know, it's essentially this fight thing is going to be a nightmare. Just because, like, the typings we have it be weak to are just simply not meshing well with what its normal stabs are. We are in trouble. Like, I think they specifically did this to spite everyone that has been, like, joking the Cinderace and Charizard raids. Because, like, this thing is a freaking nightmare to look at for what its moves and stuff is going to be. Because it's weak to dark, and it's not weak to dark. It's weak to psychic, and it's weak to ground. Both of which, its normal typings, dark and water, absolutely destroy. Like, Swords Dance Garchomp and, like, possibly Belly Drum Iron Hands with Earthquake are really two of the things that I've seen as being possible options. Sharpness Gallade is another, but for the most part, not a whole lot is really looking too good until we see what the moves are going to be. If it's a mix that we're screwed. Yeah, once game saw us, much as it's like, okay. Like, the thing is, after they saw us joke Charizard, they gave Cinderace a better kit, specifically because we were joking Charizard so easily. When the idea of these raids is that you work together with people. And the fact that we are doing these things solo kind of contradicts the whole point of them. Which is why... Wait, is that another shiny? No, it's not. It's kind of contradicting the whole point. And then, because we just can joke them very easily, they're basically escalating everything. But here is sort of the irony, and why I think it's kind of stupid if they keep trying to make them harder, is it doesn't matter how hard you make the raids, it will almost invariably be easier to do them solo than to do them with other people. Purely down to when you are doing them with other people, if they get knocked out, you lose time. You have lost time from connection times. You have a lot of things that are basically being thrown over the timer in co-op that cut into your overall time limit. But the time limit for soloing the thing and the time limit for basically group fighting it is the same timer. Say it's what, like, you know, 3 minutes. You know, just basically, just make a number for that. When you are doing it solo, you can make full use of the 3 minutes. When you are doing it with other people, you can't. Because you always have those connection times going in. You always have, like, delays. When they get knocked out, you lose time. When NPCs get knocked out, you don't lose time. There is no real advantage to doing Terra raids with other players, essentially. And that is the big issue. You know, I think if Game Freak does something where they extend the raid timer in co-op, that'll be different. But because it's the same timer, there's next to no reason to run a group. There's just no reason to do it, because you lose so much more and you gain really nothing. Which is why I just find it funny that they keep doing this. Is like you anything that they intend a certain way, we will find a way to completely misuse it. And a lot of it comes down to the way that Game Freak thinks we are going to play, and the way in which we as players actually play are two completely different things. You know, if they think that's the thing, like that's why Dynamaxing was intended to basically be its team setup. You know, the idea of Dynamax is you use the Dynamax to set up your allies and set up yourself for, like, you know, later on in the battle. But us being us, just use it as brute force hyper aggressive attack, because that's how we play, that's how we think. We try to optimize our damage as much as possible. Same thing happened with Mega Evolution, where it was, okay, we'll Mega Evolve when it's, you know, most advantageous. We'll get, you know, a boost with our regular thing normally, and then we'll go into the Mega. No, it's better just to default go instantly. And that disconnect is a big problem, and it's why they design mechanics to work a certain way, but the way we end up using them just does not work that way. It's why it's kind of a surprise that terastallizing is actually being used the way it was intended, which is defensively. Well, defensively mostly, sometimes offensively. That they actually got it right. But they only got it right once out of all of the times they've done it so far. So the score is pretty much Nintendo 1 to negative, like, 6. So not a great track record. Yeah, like that is the main issue, that we use mechanics in a way that they are not designed to be used in, but it's because Game Freak really doesn't think players will basically abuse mechanics as aggressively as we really do. Like, they don't think that players are going to min-max to the extent we actually do. And that's a big problem. You know, I don't want to say they need to get actual players into, like, the development thing, because they don't. But they basically need to think of, like, they need to be a bit more realistic with the way things are actually going to end up being used. It's just kind of funny. So does Satotl and stuff... Okay, so Satotl, like, does not appear down here. Really, Satotl and stuff does not appear down here, then. Okay, well, okay, that appears... They appear there. Okay. Loaded Dice Breloom looks interesting. The only issue I really see with Breloom and Loaded Dice is Breloom is absolutely frail as is, and it really appreciates something like Choice Scarf or Focus Sash. And not having that would be problematic. 'Cause, I mean, I've seen people running things like Scarf Spore Breloom. It's such a meme, but it also, like, actually works super well. for what you need it to work, despite being an absolute meme. But yeah, like, loaded dice, I don't think is that great of an item, because it makes you a little more likely to get those multi-hit moves, but multi-hit moves are not really great. You know, like it takes something like Skill Link Cloister to really make multi-hit moves. It takes, like, Skill Link Cloister to really do that. And even then, Cloister's able to pull it off to the degree it is because of Shell Smash. Yeah, we actually got a whole video coming out soon, Forsaken, about Battle Bond Greninja. We got a big project on Battle Bond Greninja coming. Because that thing gives me nightmares. Battle Bond Greninja is gonna be the absolute scourge of competitive this gen. Well, scourge of doubles. Provided Murkrow cannot do its thing. Like, Murkrow, I think, the second Battle Bond Greninja drops, Murkrow is gonna instantly become necessary if you want to just not get absolutely ended. I mean, I don't think they have to ban it. It's just that it's going to be really good. You gotta remember when it comes to, like, official rules, unless a Pokemon has something, like, specifically from an event, they don't, like, ban it. But the other thing is that they did allow the event Lycanroc, Dusk Lycanroc, to be legal in VGC. Which means I'm thinking they might actually allow Greninja with Battle Bond into official rule sets, depending on what they change, which terrifies me. Because if they allow Battle Bond Greninja into VGC, I think we're gonna be seeing something. I'm uncertain. I actually have another video all about that, Forsaken, as well. I got another thing about that coming soon as well, Forsaken, working on that. Actually, pretty much gonna be working on that right when I end off, because I still gotta finish recording everything and finish editing it. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, can't really give away that because that's gonna be spoilers for a future video. Potentially even a future series of videos. No shinies yet. I think that Dragonite's gotten enough love this gen with Terra Normal Extreme Speed. Dragonite, a buff to Dragonite would be terrifying. Because Dragonite's already one of the absolute best. Terra Normal made it an actual menace. And it's been crushing a lot of things very easily. Wait, is that a shiny? No, it's not. No. 8 minutes left on the clock. Yep. It's because Terra Normal is insane. You gotta remember, Terra Normal, it's only weak to fighting. And Dragonite as is a flying type naturally. Meaning it has a very solid way of threatening fighting types. So, it's also freaking bulky. Which means that, yeah, fighting types don't really have a good chance against it. And coverage fighting moves on things, say, like, Focus Blast or Brick Break on things, is not enough to deal with it. And then you have, freaking Extreme Speed Priority with Terra Normal for just ridiculous damage. It's one of the reasons why my doubles team, I run a Psychic Terrain Indeedee, specifically to body that thing. Because I do not want to keep getting Extreme Speeded in the face. It's an absolute nightmare. Honestly, Metagross is not that prevalent in metagames, Panther. Like, Metagross was very good in Sword and Shield with Dynamax weakness policy, but outside of that, it really wasn't much. And, I mean, one of the main things for that is that Metagross is in that very weird category of it's bulky, but it's really too fast for Trick Room, and it's too slow to really run without Tailwind. And that just makes it a little awkward to use. You know, it was with Dynamaxing and weakness policy, it was a force to be reckoned with. But really, without that, it really doesn't have as much really going for it. You know, if you want a strong priority steel user, Scizor is far better. If you want an offensive steel, there is Goldengo, which is also a lot faster. Also, it's a much more powerful move and has spread damage. Also, debatably better typing. And it's also a much, much better ability. Feel about Grass Colossal. Not a big fan of it. The main thing is that, I mean, I've used Santino's weakness policy Colossal. I've used the Colossal that is the weakness policy Dynamax Surf Volcalith that Santino used to beat Wolfglick. Mostly because, like, Santino's in the Discord that I'm a part of, and, like, just, I was asking, like, oh, I'm doing a doubles tournament. Anyone know any good tips for teams? And Santino just gave me his whole team right up. So I used that. That was weird. And he just gave me his entire team right up on the specs and, like, what things do. And I used that and I was like, that was fun. And going to, like, a Colossal that just doesn't have that it's a huge drop-off in power. Because what made Colossal work there was the weakness policy damage. I am very fond of Grass Terra, what is that? Armarouge, that's what its name is. I couldn't remember for a second, but Grass Terra Armarouge. Because you have Flash Fire, so you're immune to fire, and you're only weak to bug and flying. Oh, and ice. But, like, bug and ice are just completely non-factors because you have fire-type moves normally. And I love it. I'm yet to, like, figure out a way of doing things with the Tauros. I've heard very good things about them. Because Raging Bull removes screens. But I definitely need to give a little bit more time in the cooker before I've, like, figured out something to do with them. Because right now, I'm running a Sun team. But I definitely think that, yeah, I would need to eventually start working on something with the new Tauros forms. Because Raging Bull is a very good thing. And removing screens is always wonderful. But I've yet to, like, figure out what to do with it. Use Terra Water, Iron Moth. Interesting. Yeah, Iron Moth is something that in doubles, it could, if it had any typing other than Fire Poison, I think Iron Moth would have been an absolute winner. I think it would have been an absolute winner had Iron Moth just had a different typing. Because the poison typing really doesn't help it. Because it doesn't get Sludge Bomb. So it can't even, like, be a fairy counter. And Volcarona actually, as is, already was a very, very good counter to fairy types. Because, like, fire types have generally been very good fairy counters. It's just that now it is weak to Psychic, because a lot of fairy types are actually Psychic types themselves and get Psyshock, which completely bypasses 121 special, 110 special defense. And target is, like, non-existent 60 base physical defense. And its poison moves are terrible. It also doesn't get Quiver Dance, which is a huge blow. As well as, like, the prevalent Earthquake weakness, which is when you're in doubles and you're weak to Earthquake, you need to bring something special. Protect, Sludge Wave, Heat Wave, or Fire Dance, Terror Blast. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen it a little bit in Series 2, but generally, I mean, I run Earthquake on I run Earth Power and Earthquake on a couple of things, and that kind of completely removes them. So I guess I just haven't had a very good experience with it. As in, like, I find it very easy to remove them. Yeah, it's such a shame, though, because it has such an interesting set of things it can do. But it just... It kind of feels like Iron Moth, like they threw a whole bunch of things at a wall and just picked what stuck for its moveset. It's very weird. Because, like, it gets Discharge. It gets, you know, a couple, like... It gets a couple, like, interesting moves. But it doesn't get, like, Volcarona's, like, a good support kit. It doesn't get Volcarona's, like, very good status kit. It gets a large variety of moves, but there's, like, not much cohesion to what it gets. What? What shiny? There wasn't a shiny there. That was one in the shadow. That wasn't a shiny. Forsaken, that is something that will get you blocked. Do not joke about something like that. That will get you blocked. Alright, I'm thinking... Yeah, okay, 6 seconds. Yeah, we're done. The sandwich is done. And with that, we are done. I do not tolerate, like, a fake saying there's a shiny. I do not tolerate that. With how thorough I am at looking things like this over, I make sure to look at everything. And something like that really makes me doubt that, especially in something like this, where you do have a timer on your ability to go look at things. Doing something like that will waste a lot of time. Like, especially when it comes to how long it takes to get Urban Mystica, wasting time on those, it's not funny. Alright, we're going on a raid. It was a good holiday. We got 3 shinies today. Bergmite, and another Scorbunny. Exactly, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely thinking that when it comes to the DLC, they are going to be adding in an easier way of getting them. But not sure about that yet. Again, guys, if you haven't done so, please do not forget to leave a like and subscribe. Alright. Who are we gonna go raid? Oh, it says a birthday today. I'll have to go stop by. Ding, ditto, we got auto battle. Ooh, interesting. Ooh, we'll go raid Seth. We'll go raid Seth. Seems like he's doing some battles right now, as well as doing some shiny hunting. It was in the shadow. It was in the shadow. That's why it looked different. There you go. See you guys next time. Dragon Roller. And see you guys next time.